For what?
Brace yourself for a crazy, wild, insane second half of the season that we are going to see in the NBA. Obviously, we just had the All-Star break. So looking forward into the second half of the season and even into the playoffs, we are going to give you guys our best predictions and hottest takes, maybe coldest takes, but we're going to talk about what we believe is ultimately going to happen between certain teams and certain players. Before we get into that, fellas, let's talk a little bit about the Lakers and Hornets game. Were you guys able to see this last night?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
You didn't like the game, Swiper?
I'm still not used to Luka being a Laker, so it's just not gonna land with me right for a while. And
remember who you're dealing with too. You're dealing with a guy who's not very much of a Laker guy. In fact, he can't stand.
Well, I love the Lakers. Who doesn't love imperialism? You know, everyone loves the Empire. You know, Emperor Palpatine and all them. Everyone loves them.
Actually, everybody doesn't love the Empire. I can't stand the Yankees. I watch them specifically to see them lose. I don't watch them for any other reason but to watch them lose. So imperialism is not in my vocabulary when it comes to sports.
Well, in case you missed the game last night, the Los Angeles Lakers got packed up by the Charlotte Hornets by a score of 100-97. LeBron is still doing LeBron things 21 years later, 22 years later, however long, I don't know, I lost count. And Luka has not had the best start to his Laker tenure in his first 3 games. LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges also had good games. But is there anything that stood out to you guys? Mars, Penn?
That was exciting basketball down the stretch between the Hornets and the Lakers. I mean, this is the modern archetype for an NBA franchise player, the jumbo creator. I couldn't help but notice that 3 of the best ones in the NBA were on the court at the same time doing good stuff. I mean, Luka,
Austin Reeves, LaMelo, LeBron.
You missed Luka.
Oh my
God. Austin clearly needed.
The other white guy. You got to go over the Atlantic for that one.
I got you.
I will say it's obvious that Luka's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? He still needs a couple more games to get into the full swing of things. So while we are going to hold him accountable for last night, we can also acknowledge, well, he's on the court, Swipe. I'm not going to pretend like he's not on the court. If you're on the court, you're held accountable.
Oh no, this is more empathy.
He's a washed bum who's 270 pounds. Cut him some slack.
Well, I would never cut him. I would never cut him on slack. He's on the basketball court. Okay. But with that being said, I can still acknowledge that he's not 100% himself right now. You know what I'm saying? I could acknowledge that.
Is it a broken heart or is it an injury?
That's what
I'll show him.
You laughing?
Because
then you laughing.
If it's a broken heart, then they're
it's happened. That's never happened to you where you got a broken heart and you just couldn't, you were just out of the game for a little bit.
I played much better in times of controversy. You know what I'm saying? In times when I had other things going on, I played much better. But that also wasn't the NBA, and I was never traded by a franchise that I thought I was going to be with forever. So I can't relate to anything like that. But what I will say though is, I mean, it didn't look great. It didn't look great. A lot of turnovers. Once again, just being a complete liability.
In the first 6 minutes or something?
Yeah, that was ugly. And then, I mean, at the end of the game, you can see where they're trying to have whoever he's the guard set those picks. They're trying to your point, Mars, they're mismatch hunting, which is fine. Dorian Finney-Smith, he tried his best to get out there and help. But the thing about it is when he's helping and Luka's still standing in one spot, not rotating, we're playing 5-on-4. And chill, Mars, he might as well just stayed on that side of the court.
Oh boy. I'm
trying to tell you. JJ is actually just the right coach that might try to implement something like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, Ox, I don't think
LeBron still looks amazing.
Ox, I don't think it's ridiculous to what Swiper said about this being. I know that we're men and we got to be strong and all of that kind of stuff. But one, Luka's still young. Number two, he's been with this franchise for 7 years. He got blindsided. I understand in the business of basketball and anybody can be traded, but a guy like Luka in the situation that he was in, one of the 5 best players in the game, the best player arguably that this franchise has ever had in entering the prime of his career at this point. Yeah,
which team?
there's people who've said to me is that Luka is the best player that the Dallas Mavericks have ever had. So that's
They
why
lied to you too.
yeah, the 100% they have.
I thought you were talking about the Lakers. That's what
Yeah, I thought that's what
No,
I didn't
no,
know.
I'm talking about-
I was like, oh, okay.
No, I'm with the Dallas Mavericks right now,
Oh,
and
okay.
for him to be blindsided and to now go to, for all intents and purposes, a bitter rival. I mean, this is a team that they could have seen in the playoffs. This is a team that he's been battling with. This is a guy in LeBron James who he's been battling with, who he had no intention of playing with. I mean, I don't think that when his contract was up, he was going to the Lakers. No. So this is going to be an adjustment period for him. And to your point, Swiper, yes, he's feeling some type of way about it. It's obvious what he looks like out there, that he's not totally accustomed to what's going on. That game turned last night, however, Ox, when Reeves got thrown out of the game. They were rolling before.
When that was the end of the game right there. They were going to win that basketball game.
I thought they were.
Reeves got out. My thing is, and I don't want to get back into it because I know the last week and a half before All-Star break, we were just talking about Mavericks, Lakers, Luka, AD. But I just got to say, like, why are we not talking about the fact that Anthony Davis got blindsided? Anthony Davis got traded too. You know what I'm saying? What about his achy breaky heart? You know what I mean? What about Anthony Davis' feelings and emotions?
Well, here's the difference, though.
He's sidelined right now.
Is this the view?
What I'm saying is, Penn, Anthony Davis might be sad too. He walking around his Dallas condo singing Teddy Pendergrass. It's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back.
Only difference is that's not what's
nobody
going
loving
on.
back. Ain't nobody loving it back.
I can tell we all grew up in the same household, y'all. Go ahead.
It would actually be more like "I Miss You, Baby" from Teddy Pendergrass. That's actually what it would.
Hey,
be
my
more
favorite Teddy Pendergrass is "Close the Door."
But to Penn's point, but to Penn's point,
love making going on.
But to Penn's point, well, Anthony Davis, he was traded before, and he wasn't blindsided, so he understands the business of basketball, that he could be moved. And there were rumblings that, you know, even though he did get a contract extension, this isn't ridiculous to think that Anthony Davis could be traded at some point. So I don't think that he took it as hard as Luka did, because he understands. He's been in the league for over 10 years. This is 12 years he's been in the league, and he understands what this is. But Luka, on the other hand, he was supposed to be with the Dallas Mavericks. Their last star was there 20 years. Luka is going to be the next guy who's going to be there for the next 15 years and never leave them. And for them to recognize they don't want me anymore. I mean, it's definitely heartbreaking, no doubt about it. And it's going to be some time before Luka adjusts to this. Yes, it's definitely going to be some time before he adjusts to this.
I feel like this is a PR thing, right? Like Luka is the victim in this situation somehow, because we have all assumed that he was going to stay forever.
Right.
And I don't believe that for a second. No, I don't.
What about Luka suggested that he may have left Dallas? What about it?
Honestly, I've been saying he's going to the Lakers for 2 years. To anyone who would listen.
Oh, so you saw this coming?
But on his own, by his own choice, though, right?
Chill.
Wow.
Literally on Friday when we had that episode, and Swiper was saying he's never going to leave. I said he don't be so sure, he could leave, and he said, and I said LA. Literally the Friday. I know you know on social media.
We got the clip. I seen it. We got the clip.
So what I'm saying is, like, this was always going to happen one way or
another. You were
by the
assuming
way,
Luka would leave, right?
That's exactly it. I didn't expect that they would trade him. I thought that they would trade him only if he requested, hey, I'm not coming back. But then someone told me, I was like, he's going to sign and then he's going to push his way to LA. So my perspective on this would be that if they saw this coming ahead of time, they were just like, you know what? The next 2 years, we're going to be dealing with injuries and a disheartened superstar who kind of just saving himself for LA. Let's just get out of the way now. But the way they've handled this is Luka got blindsided because Luka wanted to be there forever. I feel like Luka signs that a super max extension and he's out. That's how I felt about it. But obviously, if he leaves Dallas by request, then he's a pariah and he's the bad guy. Now he's the ultimate victim right now.
But Penn, I want to stay right there. And even though you have been saying this, I'm sorry if I don't remember, but even if you have been saying it, what's his motivation for leaving Dallas? They were building a unit around him. They were in the Western Conference Championship
much better
twice
team.
in the last.
First of all, so many motivations.
They were in the Western Conference Championship twice in the last 3 years. They were in the NBA Championship last season. They're clearly building this unit around him. He can make the most money in Dallas. He can be an icon in Dallas. He could be the face of that franchise. He could be the face of the franchise in Los Angeles, sure, but it wouldn't be the same as it would be in Dallas because he was picked there. Not only was he picked there, he'd been there for what I think we're in year 8 now, or year 7 that we're with Luka. I think we're in year 7.
So ironic that I have Shaquille O'Neal's cousin preaching to me about staying home with the team that drafted you. Come on.
Okay, before we go any further, I just want you to know Shaq would have never left Orlando if they would have just matched the money. He would have never left. He didn't want to go.
Well,
he ended up in Los Angeles because they made an offer that he could not refuse. He had no intention of leaving Orlando.
Chill, would Luka have stayed if they didn't pay him the Supermax?
I think if they
didn't pay him the Supermax.
No,
I don't.
But Luka, everything Luka
they foreseen the future.
To Luka's public comments, though, he's never indicated, and then he even specified in when they were in the interview with Rob Pelinka and them, like that he had full intention of signing, staying, and there was nothing that was indicating for him that he was going to leave. That at least on his side.
But he let something slip. It was a Freudian slip during that interview that you're talking about. Go back and listen to it. I clipped it where he said, obviously, we all knew this day would come.
Obviously, wow.
So
I don't remember that. Yeah,
go back and listen to it. I clipped it, and I was just like, all right, okay. So there's this entire web of conspiracies. Obviously, conspiracy theories are weird to me with the NBA, but there's a lot of them when someone's lying about something. To this day, people cannot believe. Oh, LeBron didn't know. AD didn't know. How does that happen? How do the two of the biggest stars in the NBA who are signed with Clutch Sports not know about a deal being executed with a Clutch client? Like, this just doesn't happen. So,
well, wait a minute though, Penn. I mean, we don't know about the goings on of every. If I'm signed to an agency with you, and I might be a bigger deal there, and you're a bigger deal there, that doesn't mean that I know what's going on with you. That's your business. I don't know that. No, I know what's going on in my business. That doesn't necessarily mean that I know what's going on with you.
Yeah,
they don't disclose your business with me, just like they don't disclose my business with you.
Like every single time a really major star changes teams, there's always a backlash. KD, snake. To this day, people call him a snake for leaving. LeBron, the decision,
which
right?
he is.
So look, he's not. But what I'm saying is, if you're Luka's management, if you're Luka, if you're his PR team, you knew that if he left Dallas under the wrong circumstances, he's a bad guy. There's no way around it. So right now, the Dallas Mavericks are the bad guys. So I'm just saying, for Luka's perspective, you asked why would he want to be a Laker? I will tell you this from the perspective of someone who is coming from Eastern Europe.
Yep.
California is a big deal. LA is a big deal. The Lakers are a big deal. Vlade played for the Lakers.
You spin right now, Penn. California showing up is a big deal. Well, you ain't talking not a lie.
All the colors of the rainbow in California.
That's not why.
Hey, Mr. Atlanta.
That would not be the selling point of for a kid from Eastern Europe, but for kids from Eastern Europe, New York, LA, very lesser degree Chicago, but that's basically America.
Sure.
Like if you're American, Indiana's America. If you're Yugoslavian or someone from those countries, Indiana's nothing. You don't know about it. You don't hear about it. Like it's just LA, the Lakers, the Celtics. These are the big things. And honestly, like we didn't get a lot of games back in the day. So Luka's father and stuff like that, you got to understand the iconicization. That's not even a real word of the Lakers lore for a kid who grew up, maybe a fan of certain California teams. Maybe grew up a fan of Vlade and Peja on the Sacramento Kings or Magic Johnson. I mean, look at how Luka plays. He's also said LeBron's one of his favorite player.
Sure.
And we've kind of gotten used to this idea that European stars stay home. We've always gotten used to this because the foreign stars, not even European stars, it's the foreign stars. Hakeem stayed with Houston pretty much his entire career. Tim Duncan, technically foreign, but Virgin Islands, he stayed. Dirk stayed. Like we just get used to the fact that these foreign stars don't demand out. But Luka doesn't strike me as like your typical foreign player. He doesn't have the same vibe around him. He strikes me as very different.
Right.
Like he's a different breed. So I just always felt he was going to leave. So I'm not too surprised he left. I'm surprised how he left. But I
So
think
he wasn't.
That's definitely surprising, Pin, the way it happened.
Yeah, so he wasn't. So in your estimation, Penn, he wasn't leaving Dallas because they didn't have a chance to win. It would have been more of a business decision. You know what?
It's 100% a business decision.
I can probably profit more. I can be a bigger deal in Los Angeles. We can win in Los Angeles, just like I have an opportunity to win in Dallas. But I'll be a bigger deal winning in Los Angeles than I will in Dallas. Well, if that's the case, then why isn't he performing up to snuff now? Because apparently this is where he wants to be. It doesn't look like this is where he wants to be, though. It looks like this.
You spitting, Chill.
It doesn't look like this is where he wants to be. It looks to me like, Ox, I got put in this class. Fine, I got to sit here and I'll do the work. I really don't want to be here, but I'll be here. It
He
doesn't look like that.
He does look like what am I doing here?
Right,
so
I'm
earlier
here.
I'm trying to give him while holding him accountable. I am trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what the injury, the recovery. I don't know that, so I'm trying to give him a little bit of the Benny while still holding him accountable. You can see towards the end of that game, he was cooked. He was gassed. He was exhausted. Like the one play, remember he got the offensive rebound, got real patient, went back up strong. Good bucket.
Yep.
I like to see
Looking
that.
like Kevin Love down there.
Facts. After that, there was a couple situations where you could see he had his hands on his knees. He was bent over, huffing and puffing. They called the timeout. They were walking there. It took Luka a couple seconds to stand up and get to the bench. He was exhausted. Now that's, I don't know. Maybe
now
he just
can we give him
walking himself back in? I don't know.
Now I have to give Luka a little bit of grace here because remember, I mean, what's this? His third game with the Lakers now. This is his third game. So those two previous games, he hadn't played in almost 2 months. It was 6 weeks, right? And then we had the All-Star break, so now that's another week off. And then now he's back in the lineup. So I do have to give him some sort of grace in that aspect that he's getting acclimated to playing. I ain't even talking about playing with the Lakers. I'm just talking about playing, Penn. I'm just talking about getting back on the floor.
If that's the case,
I am going to do that. Right?
If that's the case, you got to give him historical grace. You got to give him his 7-year grace.
Bro, there's not Jay Crowder. Like, he's not just gonna meld into a lineup. He is a very ball dominant player, and he is a very central player. And this is a guy who is being asked to just jump into a moving car. I said this thing about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler can do this. I don't think a guy like Luka can just come onto a team.
He's supposed to be some all-time greats, Pin. It's not like LeBron. Like,
all-time great doesn't mean you can automatically understand 11 teammates when you are such a heliocentric part of how your team runs. Also, it's not like the Lakers are running the Dallas Mavericks offensive sets right now to make Luka more comfortable or whatever. Like, he's playing with completely different levels of talent. He's playing with completely different players. Yeah, sure.
Worst talent.
He don't know. He's just standing over there. Bron got the ball over here. He just chilling. Austin Reeves over here working. He just.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
You got to know how to move without the ball.
Yeah,
that's easy work. That's 101. You have to know how to move without the ball. That's 101. There's no way around that. There's no excuse for not knowing how to move without the ball. I don't care how heliocentric you are. If you don't got the ball, be unheliocentric. Move.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Ox, because before Austin Reeves got tossed, I mean, I saw 4 different actions from James where he's picking and popping, picking and diving, and the ball is moving more. Luka is moving a little bit more. Well, now Austin Reeves gets tossed. I'm watching a lot of ball watching. I'm watching a lot of James now has the ball. I think he had 12 or 10 or 12 in the third quarter. I'm seeing a lot of guys just standing around watching. The ball's not moving anymore. He's doing a lot more one-on-one stuff that he did before that happened, and the game completely changed. The game completely changed when Austin Reeves got tossed. Before that, James is running action with Austin Reeves where he's picking and diving, where he's picking and popping. The ball is moving a lot more. It's hopping more. Now, all of a sudden, I'm watching Luka on the right corner. He's standing and watching. I'm watching Gabe Vincent in the left corner. He's standing and watching. James got the ball at the top. There's not much going on then.
Up at the top, he's up on that left wing, left elbow area, just chilling. Like you can't be right there not moving. If you stuck in the corner and you're not moving for a little bit, okay. But you out here, you know what I'm saying? Above the break on the left side, no motion in this whole area on the floor. We can't have that. They do got the one little set that I've seen where it's Luka, Bron, and Jackson. Looks like they kind of picking the picker type situation a little bit. I'm not exactly. I saw it a few times. I didn't really, go back and hone in on it. But I saw that type of motion up there. I like that. You know what I mean? Because that's quick action, and they're both incredible passers. Talking about LeBron and Luka, they're both incredible passers. So that works out good, especially if Luka's the one picking the picker and then popping. Then that gives Bron the ability to work this side of the floor, kick it to Luka, who's a much better shooter than LeBron, throw the lob to Jackson, whatever they want to do. So I like that. I like that.
Be that as it may, Luka has struggled for 3 games. Y'all say the Lakers are less talented. The fit could be a little sticky, if you will. But y'all know it's about to be up, right?
What you mean?
I don't know that. How do I know that?
If Bron, because I just told you, fool. If Bron playing like this, and he don't even got to play like this. If Bron is somewhere at this level, come on, like y'all know, we know who Luka Doncic is. Like we know once, like last night. Honestly, he shot 5 for 18 from the field, 1 for 9 from 3. I don't have to sound. I don't sound like a
13-win Hornets team. By the way,
I'm not.
That had no idea what it was doing.
The Hornets aren't the reason why Luka Doncic missed his shots last night.
No, but you realize. But I'm saying you realize like if the Hornets,
Luka Doncic missed his shots last night. We don't. Defense isn't the reason why Luka Doncic misses his shots.
Bro, why he not in shape yet?
I'm not even. I think the basketball side of this.
We don't know what his rehabilitation
didn't even know
was
what they were doing, Ron. They were literally there. That first quarter, they were lucky that the Hornets were not making wide open blank paint shots or just.
And the Hornets are lucky that Luka wasn't making his shots.
No, but this
is what I'm
no, because this is the issue. That's not a good basketball team. What I'm saying is that even when Luka figures it out, my whole issue with the Lakers is I don't like how they're built. Period. I think Luka, Bron, sure, like let them go be Luka and Bron, like that's fine. But like most of the thought process that I've heard behind why the Lakers are going to be good, and I do think the Lakers can win some basketball series. I think they can beat the Rockets. We already had this discussion. I think Memphis would be an interesting series. But again, this is also assuming that the Lakers get to a certain point where Luka and Bron are 100%. They're able to be the best version of themselves, and then the Lakers 5-out offense, which is what apparently like. I think their media folks are arguing for, or their switch defense, what their media is arguing for, that stuff is going to be sustainable enough where they can win at a very high level. And I'm saying to you that I don't like how the team is constructed this year. Now, next year, it's a different story. I do think they're going to find a real center next year, and they're probably going to find a replacement for Rui, maybe. Who knows? Literally, like in my head, there's no reason they don't have Bam Adebayo on their roster next year because of the Lakers. You never know. You literally never know what the Lakers are going to have. So I don't want to say for next year, but I'm saying for this year right now, Ron, even if Luka and them will figure out the shot stuff, like there are still, I think, so many holes in what they actually need. And like they were playing Alex Len a pretty good amount yesterday, but he had to play. Like he had to get those minutes.
About Ox, when you talk about Lynn, I do. I see what you're talking about Ox. I get it. I 100% get it. And with that,
he's just tall, and this is like
one of them big for nothing type of dudes. Yeah, one of those big for nothing kind of dudes.
He's a good rebounder.
Everything that Swiper just said, it sounds to me like Anthony Davis was a lot more important to the Lakers than he let on. Yeah, he was a lot more to the Lakers. He was a lot more important than was let on. And
do y'all think they were? I think they were a better team with Anthony Davis than where they are right now currently with Luka. But that's just because of the roster construction.
Yeah, and the Mavericks are better with Anthony Davis now than they were with Luka.
I don't agree.
Why though, Swiper? Because this is what I'm asking. Okay,
I saw him before he went down this year, by the way.
Right, and I saw Anthony Davis get in that lineup. Right, we saw Anthony Davis get in that lineup with PJ, with Gafford. We haven't seen him with Lively yet, right? Yeah. With Lively yet, with Najee Marshall, and what this team could possibly be, just from a defensive standpoint. And we know Anthony Davis can score. We know he's a defender who can score. So with that being said, why is it ridiculous to think that with Anthony Davis in this lineup, they can't be better defensively, which is what they're going to be built on, plus be a good offensive team? Why can't that be enough to go deep into the playoffs?
Kyrie was playing 42 minutes a game, and so they knew they were completely dependent on Kyrie and his ability to play make and shot create, and even for other people. So I think the issue is I also said to you though that I think if you told me straight up everybody's healthy going into the off, I could make an argument that Mavericks are the third best team in the Western Conference. I thought that highly of them.
But Swiper, AD can't anchor a defense.
Who said that?
What?
Some things I heard.
Okay.
That's not necessarily true. But am I ridiculous to assume that Luka is not going to get it together this season? Like this may take longer than the rest of the season.
He's not going to be this bad. He's not.
I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not
February
going to
20th.
Okay, we got Swiper 2 months from yesterday. The playoffs start. Just so you know,
29 games.
27 games. 2 months from yesterday, the playoffs start. So it's not like we still got 3 or 4 months left. We only got 8 weeks, and then the playoffs start. And I can appreciate your
It's
logic,
really a
Penn.
sprint to the finish line, too.
It really is.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, Ron and Penn. I can appreciate your logic that he's not going to be this bad. But I'm also not going to get. I don't think I'm going to get 38-8 Luka neither. I'm not getting that dude.
When?
So what am I actually
in 2
getting?
months?
Yeah, I'm not getting that dude.
I feel like by next month, Luka's going to give you. Well, if that, he'll have a 38-8 game. I mean, that's not that far away.
He's played.
I'm talking about
three
on a
games.
Tuesday.
He's played 3 games with the
Well, it's
Lakers.
Thursday right now.
All of them against terrible teams. Okay, Utah, Charlotte. Right.
Sure.
Through those 3 games with presumably terrible teams with not very good players, he has been possibly the worst player in the NBA during that stretch.
Well,
Not a joke. Look at the numbers, Mars. He is a negative 9.1 box plus minus through 3 games, which is absolutely insane.
Now,
He
mind you,
is-
Mars, Killian Hayes.
He is
just got
shooting
back in the league. I gotta put that out there.
43.8% true shooting, which is a number that would make Killian Hayes himself blush. Okay. He has negative 0.3 offensive win shares, which is hard to do in 3 games, honestly, against such terrible competition. So to put it nicely, there's no way in hell he could be this bad, because the bad that he is right now is like a worse player than the worst version of Bronny James.
What
Like-
about when they start playing better teams in these next 29 games?
Luka is one of those players where it doesn't really matter who he plays. Like, to me, like, we've seen him go at Clippers, Kawhi, Clippers, Paul George. We've seen him do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a different Luka. That was 30 pounds ago.
It was not 30 pounds ago, Ox. It was maybe at best 12 pounds ago. But what I'm saying is he's not really a player that's bothered too much by other people. And that's kind of a hallmark of most stars. It's like you can't really change how they get to their spots. There's not a defense or coverage that's going to stop him. Right now, I think he's just a little uncomfortable with the new situation. I think, like, if we break down the game last night, it really came down to a few things. Number 1, their defense. Number 2, Austin Reeves getting kicked out. Number 3, Rui Hachimura. Wow. The disaster class that was at the end. Missing back-to-back free throws. Passing up shots.
Oh, yes, that was.
Why are
big,
people so
yeah.
hard on Rui? Like, what do people?
I think people are hard on him because he's talented, but he occasionally just
Well,
really,
but you know,
really,
Ken,
really
some of the like in the Lakers media cartel, obviously, if we're all aware of, one of the things that they really have brought up is like, you know, what are you going to do when Rui and Dorian are at 4 or 5 and you got to space out the offense? Like, how do you guard them? I'm just like, well, I really feel like people just haven't watched the playoffs, like, or watched like high level situation versus good teams where you can put like your worst defender on Rui. Rui's not a ball creator. Like, he's not someone I'm afraid of knocking down shots consistently. I think he's a really good player, though. I just don't think he's like one of the players like in the last 5 minutes of the game that's like, it's just somebody who's going to help you win that basketball game. I don't think he's that good of a defender either. I think he has a good body. Like, he's not horrible. I mean, he's probably outside
on a scale
of
from 1 to 10, Swipe, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Where's Rui as a defender? On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best,
I think
1
he's
being
worse
the
than
worst.
Dorian. I think he's worse than Bron locked in. I think he's worse than. So in that lineup, I mean, Vando. So he's probably their 3rd best defender between Vando.
So what am I looking at? Am I looking at a 6, maybe a 7 defender? Is what Rui is, or is that asking too much?
It just depends
Maybe
on the
a
matchup.
5.
I think
If Ruby's their 3rd best defender, that cooked. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who else is it? Who else is it though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
If it's Ruby that cooked, that's all I know.
Yeah,
Fair enough. No doubt. But Penn, I wanted to ask you because, like you said, he can't continuously be this bad. I want to run off the Lakers' next 10 games, and I'm going to ask you, how do you think this ends? Okay, they got Portland tonight. They're in Portland. They're in Denver on Saturday.
altitude.
Yeah,
Dead.
oh my God, they're in Denver on Saturday.
They're about to lose
Tuesday-
tonight too.
Yeah,
Portland?
Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah,
Portland's good. They won 6 in a row at home.
yeah, they rolling.
Will you be
Tuesday.
there, Ox?
No.
Courtside? No.
No.
Plug the. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
I don't know.
So-
I have no want to see.
I gave you a softball sponsorship plug, but let's go.
So Penn, Tuesday, Dallas is coming to town. Minnesota is coming to town that Thursday. Friday and Sunday, they got the Clippers, both those days.
They probably beat Dallas because there's no center in Dallas.
Right. They got
There's
New
no
Orleans.
center in Dallas?
They got there's no center, but they do it by committee. If I'm
They go
when I'm
Moses
watching
Brown.
them.
They just go Moses Brown.
Shout out Moses Brown.
Yeah.
See him All-Star weekend at the Hamilton party.
So Tuesday,
Him and Sharif.
We did.
You Sniper, you was
Alex
over
Len
doing
versus
something
Moses
else.
Brown.
Actually, we did. They was right in front of us.
This
That
Nah,
was,
but no, we also he was at the crossover event too. Remember the G League team was there. Remember?
Oh yeah, we
So
did see him.
Moses Brown get in, but not us.
So next Tuesday, not this Tuesday coming up, but the Tuesday after that, they got New Orleans. That Thursday, they got the Knicks, and then they got the Celtics in Boston.
That's one win that I'm sure they'll get you against the Pelicans.
So one, so they made the Trailblazers are L, Denver L, Dallas yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, are the Blazers still going to be going after it? Because that's the thing. Are they still going to be trying to make the play-in post All-Star? That's really the only question I have.
I mean, they only three. I think they 3 games out, something like that. I think they're like 3 games out the playing spot.
Other than that
he's
Denver
next.
game, he's okay. The hypothetical version of Luka, the best version of Luka, is the best player in every one of those games, except for the Denver game. So
the best player on his team.
Oh Lord. Sure.
I mean, I just want to know how do we because you just said it Penn, about
all right.
Sure, fine. I respect Jackson Hayes. Gotta love it, Jackson Hayes, no problem. But what I'm saying is, I want to get back to what y'all was talking about, or what you was talking about, Penn, as far as them meshing. How does that mesh? I'm watching every time I'm watching him. So of the 3 games Lucas played, I've watched 2 of them. One being last night, and I'm just want to know how is that basketball going to be split in half with him and LeBron? How is that going to work out?
I feel like LeBron
think it
can
works,
play off ball
Ox.
though. He's done it with Reeves for
Yeah,
quite a couple years now.
Doing it with Reeves. I think he can do it with James.
Reeves was closing sliding those games, and Braun was off ball.
Okay, so now it's Reeves, Luka, Braun.
I agree with you there. I don't think that 3 makes any sense to me.
It makes perfect
Y'all
sense.
just because y'all expect Luka to just turn up, that's gonna carry them through the rest of the season.
This deal wasn't made.
Don't forget this is the 3rd trimester, Penn. Don't forget this is the 3rd trimester, and y'all know in the 3rd
That water
trimester,
could break at any point. That water could break at any point.
real greedy around this time.
But this is not
that water could break at any point. Yes, it is.
This was a. I mean, for this season, sure, but they didn't.
Yes, we're talking about the season. I'm not talking about what's going to happen in the next 5 years and 2 and 3 years. I'm talking about this year. That's all that matters right now. The only thing that matters is these last 30 games, give or take a few.
Okay. Well, obviously, this is not a team that made this deal for this season. They made it for the next 10 seasons. That's
but we talking about this year though. Let's just.
I don't agree with that, Penn. And the reason why I don't agree
you got LeBron, he's old.
You got James on the team. We have no time to waste with James. None whatsoever.
Chill. Are you having throwaway seasons with the GOAT on the roster?
No, you are not. They didn't get Luka.
That's why they went to go get Mark. That's why they tried to get Mark. Them going to try to get Mark shows that they're not. This ain't a throwaway.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Penn. I mean, if you look at on top of that, Penn, James comes off the books after this year. So he can step off if he wanted to. So I don't think they went after Luka for this to be a throwaway season to possibly lose both James and Luka, because even though you said that Luka could end up in Los Angeles, I mean, I don't guarantee that he's going to sign there. There isn't. There's no guarantee that he's going to put his name on a contract. He already lost a boatload of money, and I'm not buying the logic that he's going to make that money back in endorsement. Them endorsements is going to be there.
He can re-sign.
That money was going to already be there.
He doesn't have to re-sign this year.
I'm sure that y'all realize I don't have a lot of respect for JJ Redick and
you do not.
Rob Pelinka, but I do want to say that they're not completely idiots. Like, they realize the way to extend LeBron's career is to get him off the ball. To lighten his load a little bit. I think Luka makes that easier, honestly. And if LeBron is open to this, if he was collaborative in making this decision to get Luka here, I think he should see that this is a pathway for him to be a really productive player for the next 2 years. When I say really,
he's already reproductive. That's
I'm saying for the next 2 years, Ox.
Yeah, I know. I heard you. I'm saying, but does he know that? Does Bron think he needs Luka? Are you watching LeBron James? LeBron James, I don't want to speak for the man. It's like, I'm just saying, but to me, it looks like Bron don't look like, oh, Luka, carry me for the next 2 years. He's
not
Luka,
saying carry me.
Bro, come on.
He's not saying carry me.
Okay, not carry. I'm using the word loosely, but you know what I'm saying though. Like
I could say carry Ox. I watched Magic carry Jabbar them last 2 years. Jabbar was over.
Right.
And Jabbar stepped aside for Magic.
That's the thing, though, Chill. Bron ain't over.
But
Bron still got a whole lot of juice.
Over. Nobody's saying he's over, but we can agree that he is a little bit more jump shot centric than he was earlier in his career, where he was more of a downhill athlete. And I think that, the fact that the jumper will extend his career a little bit more as that burst starts to fade in his, early 40s. It's nuts. It's nuts to assume that a player, is this good at LeBron's age. But need I remind you that even LeBron took almost a year to adjust when he went to Miami with D Wade.
It was a disaster that first year. He said it himself. He didn't
it's
know
hard, man. It's hard. Like when you're used to playing,
they were still a good team, though. I'm saying
they had
anytime you got 2 top
them.
5, 6, 7 players in the NBA, it's not a throwaway season. This is a dangerous team, like it or not.
First of all, the current version of Luka, out of shape, gassed,
the current version of Luka is not going to be the same Luka in 8 weeks.
Right now.
Can we stop with the Luka being out of shape stuff? Like when how much different does Luka look now than he did 2 years ago?
Very.
2 years ago was rough.
It's not even.
That 23 season. The second half of that 23 season was rough.
You can look in shape and not be in shape though, Chill. You know that.
But this is what I'm saying. Like this is what Luka looks like anyway. Luka's not going to be sliced up and light on his feet. That's not who Luka is. That's never who he's been.
Slumped over though, Chill. He's gasping for air.
That's because he hasn't played. I don't think that's because he hasn't played. Now, has he gotten himself out of shape? Because he hasn't played, I'm sure he was doing something.
He needs to watch Rocky
when he was hurt. I'm sure he was doing something.
Get real motivated, like do skipping and
y'all bullshitting for real.
Get in the gym with Apollo Creed.
Rocky don't make
it ain't Rocky. You know the real most motivational one is Invincible. That Mark Wahlberg joint. That's a real motivational. Remember when he went to play for the Eagles, went to the tryout. He was the bartender. Yeah, that's a motivational movie right there.
Get Luka for real.
Get him a motivational playlist. Put Rudy on there. Put Coach Carter on there.
I know we live in a different time.
What is your biggest fear, young man? I don't know. Arby's takeout. Shoot, like just put it on there.
I know we live in a different time, Ron. But like if he had some boys that, or maybe even a counterpart that sees him and knows that it's still there, and just snatch Luka by the collar and Luka, let's straight. Let's rough it. Let's go somewhere and let's get this off season where we ain't in the Ritz, we not in the Four Seasons, we somewhere in the mountains and we getting it together. And you're gonna come back to camp and you're in shape and you ready to rock and roll and show people what they were missing. Because as of right now, what's the logic on Luka?
He was playing fine before he went down in December, though. That's why I'm confused.
Great player. What's the logic on him, though, Swiper? Great player. Great passer, great scorer, doesn't take care of his body. Oh, y'all think I'm just a fat slob. That's what y'all think I am. Y'all think I'm just this. Y'all think I'm this guy who doesn't take care of his body. I just show up, and as good as I am, I'm just good off the strength of me showing up. I don't take care of my body. I'm not as professional as you guys think I am. I got to change that narrative. And a counterpart of his, like Apollo Creed did with Rocky, snatch him by his collar, like, yo, let's go to. We ain't doing the Four Seasons. We ain't doing the Ritz. We ain't doing none of that. We going somewhere and we gonna get correct mentally. Where you got to get that fire back.
Bron got sons. Luka, this is year 7. Luka's supposed to be the one. I mean, he's supposed to know the ropes. Bron don't got time to hold his hand. Like, come on.
I think Luka's mentality.
We want Bron to save the Luka Doncic. I just don't see it. Like, I don't see that. Everybody was saying, well, he's going to get with Bron and he's going to change this and change that. Luka's a grown-ass man. Like, he's not – I just don't see it. At some point in your life, you get to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? And Luka Doncic is not Allen Iverson in the sense of he can't just kick it and then turn the lights on and go get ball. His genetics ain't built like Allen Iverson's. You know what I'm saying? He ain't cut from the same cloth as Allen Iverson.
He's also not 6 foot. He's not 6 feet tall.
Yeah. Regardless, all that goes into it. Everything, genetics, everything goes into what I just said, Ben. So he's not this, he's not that, he's not from there. Whatever you got to say, yes, that goes into what I just said. He's not Allen Iverson. He can't just drink Hennessy and kick it during the summertime and go to a couple open gyms and then be ready to ball October 20th. Luka need to be in the lab, drinking water, swimming,
but
running miles.
Didn't have Ozempic.
But is it fair to say? Is it fair for me to say when I think about Luka that he might have lost some of what he had, and I got to find out how to get it back?
No,
now, I know what you're talking about.
No.
It's
a double-edged sword.
Swiper. This trade has clearly affected him, man.
Bruh, yeah, but I'm saying, but chill. I feel like we're living in.
Why are we just psychoanalyzing these players, assuming that he's sitting in his apartment, like listening to Adele right now, crying?
Why are you fighting that? Just look at his body language.
First of all,
the Lakers.
Okay,
look at his body language with the Lakers. Why is it ridiculous for me to think?
Chill, but not
everybody has been terrible everywhere.
Surrounded by baddies
now
and
they bring
beaches.
yellow.
I mean, yeah, like he might not want to. He might not want to be in LA. Look, not everybody wants that lifestyle. But my whole thing is chill. Literally 2 months ago, you can go back and look at what Luka was doing this year. And I'm saying that Luka in December averaged 28, 10, 8, 52, 41, 6, and then 74 splits. And then he got hurt. So he was crazy. Remember, he started off slow or whatever, and then but then in November, 28, 7, and 9. He started off 27, 8, and 6, and then December 28, 10, and 8. And then now he sucks. He's averaging 14, 6, and 5. So yeah, he got hurt. And once he gets in shape and once he gets away from that injury, he's gonna go back to being Luka. I don't think it's that far away. I think we're like a month away. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want people like overreacting on Luka. Luka will be there. The Lakers, I'm saying, are not going to get there. They're going. They're going to be. I think again, they're going to play the Rockets in the first round. I think we're going to be 4 or 5 seed or something like that. They're going to win, and then they'll be in the second round, and then they'll get blasted more than likely, depending on who they're playing. So I think Luka's going to be fine though, personally.
All right, y'all. Swiper has spoken.
Per usual.
Now it's time for the GOAT host to speak and give y'all the picks of the day on PrizePicks, where after you download the app, you can run your game, control your game, and win your game. That's the most important part, right? And you'll be able to do this when you download the app and play $5 because you will instantly get $50 back in promo funds, but only when you use promo code PANEL. Yes, that's right. Promo code PANEL. And we are actually going to show you guys how to do it right here, right now. It's very simple. You download the app, you use promo code PANEL, you get $50 instantly in promo funds, and then you choose your favorite players. Then you choose their stat lines for the night, and you choose more or less. I think Luka's going to go less than 20 points. I think Ox chose that yesterday. Less on the PRA. I think maybe Joel Embiid is going to play 10 minutes. You choose whatever you want and you send it through and then you win the money. It's very simple. And it's so simple, we're going to show you guys how to do it right now. Let's get into it, fellas.
Okay. Mars, you want to go first or chill?
Ben Simmons, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
They got Cleveland. Nope, he ain't in Brooklyn no more.
For the first time in an hour, he says Ben Simmons, please.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that he ain't.
I forgot they got Bogey.
Yes,
Ooh, all right, y'all.
They
All right.
forgot they got Bogey.
So they're gonna remember real quick. I'm not seeing them more.
Benjamin.
Alex, you really love the
We'll
Eastern.
take James Harden. We'll take
Eastern
James Harden
Pros,
points and assists, whoever it is.
James Harden's points and assists.
Yeah.
He does, Penn, just so you know.
31.
Yes, he does.
Oh, there's no demon? Let me look at the PRA demon.
PRA demon.
I never heard Ox say anything bad about an Eastern European player except for Luka. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a few. I'll just keep it real.
Y'all, let's get these picks in, though. Mars said he wants
Yes,
to take
sir.
that 44.5.
Yes.
You want it? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Chill, what you thinking?
Let me see what Jason Tatum looking like in Philly tonight.
Gotcha.
He gets busy against them. I don't know what it is about Philly, but Jason Tatum licks his chops when he plays against them. Mm-hmm.
There we go. JT, 26.5 points. We got 34 on the demon.
Let's see.
29 on it. Oh, wait. Damn.
33 and a half.
What's his
26 and a half. 26 and a half. It's 26 and a half. I think he gets more than that tonight. Go up a lot. Let me see what that PRA looks like. Is that 40 for that PRA?
Yeah, it's 40. 49 and a half. Jeez.
I ain't gonna go that far. I think I can get more on the PRA, more than 40.
I got him cooking Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, I got him busting his ass. Yes.
Let me see.
Yeah. Who's the Sacramento play tonight?
Nah.
Oh, they play tomorrow night. Yeah, they got the Dubs in town tomorrow night. Steph Curry had a whole 2 weeks off, a week and a half off.
48 and a half PRA. That's too easy, Giannis. I want a challenge. Let's go back to the Clippers.
Giannis back in the lineup.
Let's see what Zubac's points and rebounds are.
26 and a half.
Points and rebounds, 26 and a half. We're going to take that. Let's go more. You know, with Bobby Portis not being around, it might be a little easier.
All right. Just type in Westbrook.
Ron, you've been off your man Lester. What's the deal? I'm just saying. You've been sticking with your man Lester all season.
He's been yapping all year. Then all of a sudden, he's been shutting up. What's up with
all
that?
Right, you know what? Type in Lester. Come on. I was going to spare him on this good Thursday. But you know what? Giannis
Russ might be
said
back
something
tonight.
too much. You know what to do.
Russ might be back tonight. So
under 21 and a half, Ron?
That fool ain't hitting 22 tonight. Click.
What? Are you crazy, Ron? About to sell a parlay. What you doing, Ron? Come on, man.
You said it, man. We got it. Let's do it.
Hold up, Ox. Hold on. Can we talk to our man for a minute? Hold on, Ox. Now, okay, Ron.
Charlotte on the back-to-back?
Yeah, Charlotte on the back-to-back. That's what they got tonight.
I tried to go to Russell Westbrook and y'all laughed.
No, I just was wondering what your deal. I ain't heard you talk about your man Lester. That's all.
All right, well, I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know I got the same energy for Lester.
Okay. Okay, so we can go with Westbrook. What's the deal with Westbrook, Ox?
What you want me to do, Ron?
I'm keeping Lester on there. We already here
all
now.
Right. Yeah.
All right, we got James Harden, 44 and a half PRA. It is a demon pick. More. Jason Tatum, 40 PRA. More. Zubac, 26 and a half points and rebounds. More. And then we got Lester Murray, 21 and a half points. Less. And $20 will turn into $400. And just like that, we've made you guys money. Thank you very much. All right, y'all. Before we go ahead and transition and get into the next things that we're going to get into today, obviously, we're going to get into all of our predictions and bold takes for the second half of the season. I got to shout out a couple things. First off, in case you don't know, tomorrow is episode 500. We got a 5-hour streamathon. It's going to be a hell of a show. We will be on from 11 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and there will be a ton of guests and a lot of people that you would love to see. So y'all pull up and see your favorite panelists, see your favorite guests, and we are going to take a crazy walk down memory lane here on Player's Choice. I promise you it is going to be a good, grand time. And as if that isn't enough for tomorrow, we gonna turn around and be on the main stage of Playback. We got the Houston Rockets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. You guys know the usual suspects, and we may have a guest or two up there to watch this game with us as well. So be sure to pull up to the 5-hour streamathon, and also be sure to pull up to the main stage of the Playback, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a hell of a time. And as if that's not enough, the PCL is also coming up soon, and we need wild cards. We need debaters that actually can come and thump with Ox, rumble with Penn, and spar with Swiper. So if you think you got what it takes, scan this QR code on the screen right now and enter for your chance to win $5,000 and take the PCL belt from Mars and ultimately be the king at the top of the hill. We are looking forward to seeing what new talent that we can find and who can really come and prove their worth like John D, MTL, and all these other guys that have proven their worth up here on the panel. All right, y'all. We will see here very soon who got what it takes. I can't
Modern
wait for the
PCO. Yeah, modern
Shout
PCO.
outs to John D and MTEL. Rapid improvement from both those guys. Very good.
All right, y'all. Well, it's about that time. Obviously, we've seen how things went during the first half of the season. We've seen what the standings look like. We see what players are in certain races, MVP, DPOY, all of this good stuff. So I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to ask you guys, what do you believe will happen in the second half of the season? What is your bold take? Mars, we haven't heard too much from you, so I'm going to start with you. What you got for us?
The Warriors will be like the 6th seed or something. They'll get out the play-in. I don't know how far back they are, but I think,
I'll check for you, brother.
I think
Well,
they'll get
they're in the
play-in.
play-in right now, Moss. They're in the play-in right now.
I think they'll get like the 6th seed.
The Warriors are
3.5
currently 28 and 27. They're 3.5
games
games out of 6.
Yeah, I think the
10,
Warriors will end
15.
up getting like the 6th seed. Maybe they'll get the 7, but that's still the play-in. So I'll say the 6th seed.
So you got to rise it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think the Warriors gonna go on a little run. I don't know what that schedule looks like, but yeah, I think the Warriors will get a legitimate playoff round, not a play-in game. That's
Shout out to the Warriors. Sure.
All right. Penn, talk to us. What you got for us?
I mean, you're saying bold. I got 2. I go 2 or we going round? We go one.
We're going
each?
to get around. We'll get around to the second one.
Okay. I'll say my first one. If this doesn't sound very bold, but if the Spurs fix out their lineup, their starting lineup, which is kind of weird right now, I could see the Spurs getting into the play-in and really, really giving a team like OKC or Memphis a run for their money, maybe a 6-game type of scare. They're 12th right now, so that seems bold to me.
It's really close though. Like, I don't hate that at all.
I mean, they're 6 games under 500.
Yeah.
That's tough, right? So they would have to go on a pretty big run right now. But yeah,
They're 3.5 games behind the Warriors though. You know.
I mean, I love what I saw from Stephon Castle. You never know what All-Star Weekend can do for a young player and his confidence. If he could take a next step, he's already been very good. If he can become even better, I suspect De'Aaron Fox will become more integrated with that lineup, right? They'll figure out how to play together. They got plenty of talent. They've had plenty of talent. And then they got Wemby, right? And you know, Wemby wants to make the playoffs. They want to make the playoffs internally. They want to give this, you know, young core that playoff rep. So yes, with the Suns potentially free falling, I don't know what's happening with Sacramento and Zach LaVine and all that stuff. So yeah, I could see them leapfrogging those teams. Yeah.
So Penn, this was actually one of mine too. I actually got the Spurs making a play-in, and I got the Kings falling out. So I definitely don't think the Suns are going to make it, and I think the Kings are going to come up short too. But I got the Spurs going on a run in these last 25 to 30ish games. I think they got 30 games left. Actually, they do got 30 games left.
Can we flip back? Can we double back to my man Mars? So Mars, in order for the Warriors to get to the 6th spot, they got to jump 4 teams. They got to jump the Clippers, Minnesota, Dallas, and Sacramento, which means that those guys have to go to pieces, and the Warriors have to continuously
No,
grow.
it just means they have to beat them by more than 4 games the rest of the season. Doesn't mean they have to go to pieces. I mean, it just means the Warriors have
4
to
teams.
There's enough games left. There's enough games left for that.
It's
to
a
happen.
4-game gap.
games.
Can the Warriors make up a 4-game gap in 30 games?
Here are
Yes.
the 5
Well,
teams with the
27 games,
hardest
whatever.
strength of schedule left: the Lakers, the Suns, the Kings, the Grizzlies, and the Nuggets. Those are the hardest. So for the Lakers, they have 2 games against OKC, a game against New York, a game against Boston, a game against Memphis, 3 games against Denver, which they could lose all 3 very easily with the way Denver's been playing lately, and 2 games against the Rockets. and they don't have a lot of games against Washington, and those games help you a lot. Those Washingtons, in theory, last night was a game they were supposed to win handily, and they dropped it. So if you're in competitive games against Utah and Charlotte, what's going to happen to you when you're going up in Denver against altitude? Like, you're going to die.
Well, I mean, Pin, that really comes to my take. I mean, sorry if I jumped the line wrong, but it just seems like it's natural. I don't have the Lakers making the playoffs.
You got them out, Ox?
Yeah, I don't got them making the playoffs at all.
I don't hate that.
Wow.
Like
maybe
the play-in, or you think that the 11th seed?
One way or another, Mars, they won't be in that.
Are they out? Wow.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Consider it. Oh man.
What makes you think that
take a lot to fall out of the playoffs?
It does, Joe.
First of all, it's not. It doesn't take too much right now in the West, Chill, because those bottom 7-8 teams, they're right there with each other. There's 30 games left, and to Pin's point, and you just ran it down a little bit ago, Chill. They have some tough games coming up. They look like things are a little rocky right now as far as cohesiveness with Luka and everybody coming together.
Yep.
So I'm not saying it's on him or nothing. It's just that the way they're constructed right now, it seems like it's a rough time. So I could see them easily being knocked out. I mean, there's a lot of teams want that spot. Like for instance, the Warriors, the Kings, Dallas. Who else is right out there?
Your boys.
Yeah, who else is right? Minnesota, the Clippers.
Sure.
All these teams are coming for it. San Antonio, to y'all point. I mean, there's 5-6 teams, including we could bring Portland into this if we want to. I mean, and they play tonight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
Portland's 5 games out the 10 spot. That's number one. Number two, on the one hand, them losing to Charlotte last night. What it reminds me of like University of Kentucky going up against Youngstown State. Like, we just better than y'all. We should not lose to you guys. No matter schemes, no matter any of that other stuff. We're just better. We got better talent. We should beat you in that particular situation. But on the flip side to that, to your point, I mean, they're only 2.5 games out to play in. As of right now, the Lakers are, I think they're fourth. They're fourth or fifth. I think they're fifth. They're only 2.5 games out to play in. And could they lose in a one game series, whether it's Minnesota, even though I don't think Minnesota or the Warriors could beat them, but could they beat them? It's not ridiculous to think that they could beat them. I just think that with Luka and James and everything that they have in a one-game playoff, they're not losing. Okay. They're not losing.
Every player in the NBA has that game circled on their calendar right now. At Lakers. That's a big game for literally every team.
Sure.
I don't care if you're the Toronto Raptors, you're Utah Jazz. That's a game that you want to get. That's a game that everybody's watching right now. If you're a young star in the league, like a LaMelo Ball, that's a game of yours that people are actually going to watch. People don't get a lot of Charlotte games. People don't get a lot of Detroit games, Toronto games, etc. So when young teams go up against, and that's why defending champions always have the target on their back. You better come strapped. You better come ready. And the problem with the Lakers is they're not a great team right now. Yet everyone expects them to be a great team. So everyone's coming at them with the energy of like playing a defending champion, and they ain't done shit yet. Okay.
And then look at this. Look at this too right here. What they just put in the chat. The Timberwolves played the Sixers twice, Utah 3 times, Pelicans twice, Suns twice, Nets twice.
They got to.
I mean, the Timberwolves, they kicking it right now.
And Ron, the reason why that game was yesterday, and I was trying to figure out why they were playing. That was a makeup game because Pacific Palisades was on fire, and that game got canceled. So yesterday's game that made up for when they were supposed to play them a couple of weeks ago. But
bad timing.
Yeah, but I mean the way that the Lakers are looking right now, I mean they still a top 5 seed. They still in 5th place. And I'm having a difficult time with the logic. I mean, I saw how they ran through the Clippers right before the All-Star break with James. How much energy he had. He's still playing with that same amount of energy. So the idea that them missing the playoffs, even if it's just a one, like you said, Ox, on a one-game playoff. All right, we end up dropping to the 7th seed, and we got to play, I don't know, Minnesota in order to keep the 7th spot. Could Minnesota beat us? Yeah, they could beat us. However, thinking about how Minnesota's offense stalls at the end of games. I watch when they play against the Warriors how Steph Curry outplays Anthony Edwards at the end of games. I watch how their offense, they still have the same problems this year that they had last year. Could Minnesota beat them? Yes. I don't think it's likely because I feel like they got more weapons offensively at the end of games than Minnesota. Now you're talking about Golden State. With Jimmy Butler, I think it's going to be a lot more difficult, but I think that they can beat them in one game. Not a series. I ain't even talking about the playoffs. I'm just talking about one game. I'm having a hard time seeing the Lakers missing the playoffs.
Yeah, Chill. I don't see Minnesota being the matchup for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that'll be the situation. It'll most likely be the Warriors, the Kings, teams like that. The Lakers, and then on top of that, don't let the Lakers be a 9 or 10 seed where they have to win 2 games.
They got to go to pieces to drop all.
Okay, I don't think that personally. I don't think they're going to fall out of the play-in, but it's not absurd to say they would fall into the play-in playoff. Like right now, seed 5, which is the Lakers, and seed 10, which is the Warriors, are separated by 5 games. 5 games. That's all. That's all it takes.
That's a bad week, Penn. That's a bad week. And
it's a busy week, but it's a bad week. But someone's got to jump them too, and I don't really see the teams behind them like catching fire. Like who among these teams is striking you as, oh wow, they're about to go on a major run? Because like for you to fall, okay, maybe the Wolves, but the Mavericks are decimated. The Kings are adjusting to a very different type of team right now without De'Aaron Fox, and I don't think it's looked great. It's looked okay at times, but it hasn't looked great.
Right.
I'm not. I think the Warriors and the Timberwolves are the only teams, and the Clippers that could jump them.
So far behind it, it's a long shot for them to jump
for
the Lakers.
Sure. I mean, to put this in perspective, the Lakers are 11 games above 500. The Spurs are 6 games below 500. These two teams are separated by a lot. Okay, they are not separated by one of these teams has a bad week and the other. No, they're separated by the Lakers become the worst team in the league for a month, and the Spurs run the table on the West. Like these are absurd. I just think I don't think it's crazy to say they'll be worse and that they'll get into the play-in. But once they're in the play-in, you got LeBron.
I mean,
and Luka in a one game.
You look at these new rosters, and we're better than the Lakers today.
Who's we?
King Sacramento.
We're better than the Lakers. You look at the
rosters
right
think the Sacramento
now.
Kings are better than the Lakers.
I said it. You look right now. That's how these teams are constructed today. We're obviously better than the Lakers. It's really not even like
that's not the thing though. That's not the thing. Y'all still playing from behind though.
No, all right, but I understand that, Ron. But what I was saying initially was a playing situation. A playing situation is one game. You know what I mean? There's no Anthony Davis over there. There's no Anthony Davis over there.
And there's no De'Aaron Fox over there. So you lost your leading scorer and your leading distributor. We got Zach LaVine. Even if you do have Zach LaVine,
LeBron and Luka are better than every player.
And not only that, Ron, don't leave out that DeMar DeRozan. Who does he see over there in that purple and gold? When he see the boogeyman?
I mean,
you know what happens when he see the boogeyman?
We can do that. We can pretend like that's really a thing, but that's not. On top of that, if you watch, so when that became a thing, LeBron James was actually doing that to DeMar. When you look this year, losing to the Lakers, it wasn't about DeMar and LeBron. That wasn't. That was what that was about. That was just about them kicking our ass. That was about Anthony Davis being tired of DeMontis Sabonis.
Well, I will.
That was Lamar DeRozan.
Lamar
Jackson.
Lamar
when LeBron come around.
To that point, Ox, that DeMontis Sabonis matchup versus nobody is going to be a that's all I'm trying to get to, Swiper. But when you start talking positive about the Kings, don't nobody want to let you do that. So when you look at the fact that they lost Anthony Davis, who actually was tired of DeMontis Sabonis kicking his ass and stepped up this year, he's no longer there. Now we not only that, but we got reinforcements. They got Alex Len now. We got Jonas Valanciunas. You know what I'm saying? We not the same. It's not the same no more. So I mean, of course, y'all can, y'all. But look, if we catch them in the play-in, y'all gonna see way better than I could tell you. Way better than I could tell you. Y'all just gonna have to see.
Like wait till I catch you outside. That's what that's.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying. Chill. That's all I'm saying. Like we this year They've been putting it on us, but some things have changed. You
Wait
know
till
what I'm saying? What we did, Chill. We took some jiu-jitsu classes. Now we on y'all ass. Let me catch you again. Watch this. Watch what I do.
With this whole Laker thing though. So you've talked about them falling. I actually don't see them falling, and I actually think it's a better chance that they rise. But I wanna ask you guys this.
Rise to where?
I wanna ask you guys this. Because I mean, I think it's crazy to think that they fall to the 8th seed.
Oh no, but rise to where? What do you mean rise to like 4?
Hold on,
3?
I'm about to
Hurry up, man. Answer the question.
They could jump Houston.
So look,
I think they could jump Houston.
Spit it out, nigga. Come on.
What do y'all think is crazier for the Lakers? Now, keep in mind the Grizzlies are only 3.5 games ahead of the Lakers.
Man,
the Lakers are but hold up though. The Lakers are 3.5 games from the 2 seed.
They're about to lose tonight, Ron.
They're 5.5 games from the 8th seed. So what do y'all think is crazier? For them to jump up to the 2 or jump up to the 8? And I'm not saying that they're gonna go to the 2. I'm not saying they're gonna go to the 2. I'm asking, what do you think is less likely?
Right. We're answering your question. Jumping to the 2 is not possible. Right?
It is possible.
Jumping to the 2 is
unlikely.
Possible. We just ran down the next 10 games. Do it again, Chill. Let's run down the next 2 games. The only 2 games that we even think they might win is tonight and against Dallas. And they're not even winning tonight. They're about to come up here to this motor center and get that ass whooped.
So they honestly, to get to the 2 thing, to make it even realistic,
that's 3.5
more realistic. They got to win tonight. Denver will probably lose or whatever, and then they have to beat Denver on Saturday. Because if they haven't beaten Denver in
3 years.
Right now there's between the 2 teams, there's a 3-game gap. If Denver wins tonight and Lakers lose, that's a 4. If they win and lose again, that's a 5-game gap with 28 games to go. So it's possible because Denver has they got to play the Thunder twice. They got to play Lakers 3 times. They got to play OKC. I said Thunder twice. They got to play Celtics once. They play the Clippers again, I think maybe twice, and then they play the Warriors 3 times or whatever, or something like that.
So how many times do they play the Kings?
I think they beat Portland tonight. So to your point, Ox, I think they beat Portland tonight. I think they lose Saturday. Yeah, I think they beat Portland tonight. The reason why Portland hasn't played since the All-Star break. They haven't played. We just played last night.
These some young boys.
Right, 100%. And we just played last night. So we got to redeem ourselves.
Who's going to guard Monty tomorrow?
We just lost to Charlotte last night. So we have to redeem ourselves. So who would I rather fight? Would I rather fight somebody that's been sitting around, or I'd rather fight somebody who just got finished fighting? I'd rather fight somebody who's been sitting around because they're a little rusty and they got to knock the rust off.
I understand when you say that, Chill. Go ahead.
So I think they beat Portland tonight. They haven't beaten Denver in 3 years. At some point, this has to change. I just don't think it changes.
Well, they beat them. They beat them last year.
Okay, so
then
they got Dallas on Tuesday. I think they beat Dallas because Kyrie Irving got to put the cape on, and I don't think he can do that. Minnesota, I think Minnesota beats them. Those 2 Clipper games, I think they beat the Clippers both times that they played them. I don't think they beat them once. I think they beat them both times. Do you remember they right before the All-Star break? And Anthony Davis
we do remember that. But they also lost to the Utah Jazz, so we're counting one and not counting the other.
100% they did. Okay, they should beat New Orleans. They didn't have Anthony Davis when they played the Knicks, and they went in the Madison Square Garden and served them. I think that they lose the ball.
Remember OG was hurt.
Yes, right. Yeah, and they didn't have Anthony Davis neither, and they still went in there and beat them. Right now, don't get me wrong. I don't think James is going to go 32, 11, and 10. I don't think he's going to do that, but they did go in there and beat them, and I think that they lose to Boston. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they lose to Boston. I think they win 6 of these games.
Chill. I think they beat
twice. Chill. Come on, man. What's up with that?
Yeah. All I'm saying is I think it's more likely for them to rise than for them to fall.
I do. They would have to go to pieces to drop. I mean, don't get me wrong. To the 7th spot and to get into the play-in tournament, to lose 1 game in a play-in, yes, that is realistic. That could happen. I don't think that that's going to happen. But to fall to like Ox saying to like 9 or 10, a whole lot of things got to go wrong for them, and a whole lot of things got to go right. Because the Penn's point, they're 11 games over 500. 11 games over 500. We got to go to pieces to drop to the 10 spot.
I think
you don't have to go. You don't have to go to pieces, Chill. What I'm saying is, if they go to the 8 seed, because so the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think, are going to pass them up just because of strength of schedule alone. So if you go to the 8 seed And
Ox, strength of schedule is an analytic. Just want to let you know that.
so I don't care. There's
Basketball.
so whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not basketball. You're playing easy competition. That's just logical. You can call anything analytic, I guess. I mean, it's logic. If I'm playing a bunch of weak dudes, I should beat them. I'm playing against a better dudes, I should lose. That's common sense. Sometimes common sense and analytics go hand in hand. Like right now, they got tougher competition. It's more likely that they lose some more of those games. The Minnesota Timberwolves, on the other hand, have easier competition. They should probably win more of those games. So analytics or not, that just makes sense, right? So if they were to fall to the 8th seed, which is very possible, you know what I mean, they could end up out the playoffs. I don't see how we don't understand that.
I just want to double check your numbers on that one.
Please do. At least make sure the formula makes sense. As long as the formula makes sense.
Yo, Pin, I've been trying to figure out what's going on here because you seem a little
sense.
different. Now you using an actual calculator. You're not just doing it all in your head. You had a little bit more energy today, and I finally put it together.
What's that?
You got new headphones.
No, I don't have new headphones. My headphones are broken ass.
Oh, you changed the
headphones.
movies in the back. Those are video games.
Nope.
You
Are you just
you got lotion on?
lotion?
Yeah, you
No.
went to the tanning salon?
No.
Why you look so different? Why you
I don't
acting
have
so
a
different?
I don't
Why
have
you
a hat.
moving different?
I don't. Why am I moving
Don't
different?
You don't have a hat on today. I do know.
I do not have a hat on.
Oh,
Puma hat.
the Puma sign.
Mhm.
Ah,
You do not have a hat
got
on.
it. Okay.
Yeah, no more free sponsorships for Puma until they pay me.
Mm-hmm.
You're so much more likable without the hat.
Am I?
You are more
Kinda.
relatable with the hat.
Kind of.
With the
You are.
hat?
I don't know what the
without
hat.
the
I
hat.
don't know the hat. The
No.
hat does something to you, Pin. I'm not sure what it is. It makes you a little mean.
Smug. Let's call it what it is. You got
That's the
you got
word.
you got a smug way about
Smug?
you with that hat on. Yeah, you do.
Honestly, I haven't done basketball content for an entire week. I've been diving into the film festival stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, I was coming on. I was
Oh.
like, I haven't really talked.
So
into
the film festival got you like refreshed, good energy, like positive energy.
I'm
Feeling
damn
good.
tired, man. But yes, it is always positive energy. I do
Mhm.
want to say though,
Thank you for calling out in your super chat yesterday who brings the most energy on PC.
yo, I, first of all, a compliment to one person is not an insult to another person. There's a chat, like a character limit to I'm not rich, okay? I can't be spamming a $50 super chat to list out the entire PC roster, okay? So I just wanted to say, but I meant what I said. That I just think, you know, watching y'all. First of all, I wasn't at All-Star Weekend, but I loved watching it through y'all. I was watching Chill hoop. I was watching Jordan teach people how to shoot. It was cool, man. Like it was really, really awesome. But what I will say is just being around y'all. And first of all, I very, very much support this message that Swiper had yesterday, that the future is so bright for PC, and like what you guys have done over the last year is insane. So shout outs to Dave and Ron and everyone who's been putting all this together behind the scenes. But yeah, it was nice to see it. But also I think Jordan is really positive. Like I've known of Jordan for years, first of all, before PC. So I was so shocked when I saw him up here, and I messaged Ron right away. He can confirm it. I said he's a great addition to what you guys do. So yeah, I just think he brings so much positive energy. I think Ron brings a lot of positive energy, and I think Chill is a very, very positive person, even though he's crashing out at the chat and calling them names and stuff sometimes. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a very good group. Not everybody can be like a massive energy giver. I'm not a massive energy giver. I know that. I could
Yeah, Pin, well, we appreciate what you bring to the table.
appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Man, put the hat back on, Pin. God damn.
Pin, don't
I
put the
got
mask
too
back on.
sentimental for you.
Don't put the mask back on, Pin.
No, I'm
Don't
just
put the
playing.
mask
I'm
back
just
on.
So you're throwing him off, Penn. He's starting to like you. He can't really attack you now because you kind of
Ox
I'm
would
always,
Yo,
Yeah, it's always
I
like
was
that.
about to tell you that your team starting lineup was Lamar, Lack, Lonis, Legan, and Lamontis earlier.
Crazy.
But I was like, yo, I need to have the hat on to pull that take off. And I let it go, you know. But now I got the hat back in my hand.
Oh no, please don't,
And I'm feeling the dark side taking over, and I just want to talk a lot of shit about the games right
Please
now. So
don't. But no, because
I'm gonna put this hat away.
I feel you on that because like it's something in me when Ron keeps saying the Lakers rising. I keep wanting to make like a rising dough joke, like with Luka Doncic, you know what I'm saying, with the doughy, you know what I'm saying? I keep wanting to say the only thing that's gonna rise is Luka's, but I'm like, that's rude, you know what I'm saying? So like, don't, and it, you know, just it's certain things going on right now.
As long as Ron don't say gourmet again, I'm good for the rest of the day. If he say gourmet again, I'm coming through the screen. Yo, I can't handle it. I'm letting you know right now. It's something that, but I just think it's wild what's going on. So,
All right, y'all. We're gonna keep it pushing. Swiper, I know you got something in your chamber, something that you can't wait to get out. What you got for us? Hot take, bold take, or just a correct take for the second half of the season?
Well, my first one was that the Suns were dropping out. I think I said that when they were like 2 games up, 2.5 games up. This next one, rest of the season, I think Memphis could drop to the 4 seed. Maybe. I don't know how hot of a take that is, but they could end up losing tonight. Denver wins tonight, but then Denver, like I said, they beat the Lakers. They can end up with 2. I don't know. See, hot takes are tough. I'll say the Wolves. Let me say that I think the Wolves can rise. I think the Wolves will rise up to like I'll say the 5th seed. I don't know how hot a take that is.
Where they are now, Swiper,
50.
they 2.5 games out the 5 spot, right? As of today. They're a game out the 6. They 2.5 games out the 5 spot. I mean, from 4 to 10 is only separated by what, 6 games? Yeah, 4 to 10 is separated by 6 games. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think the Wolves will just rise, but I don't know how hot a takes these can be at this point in time.
Yes.
I was thinking in my head, like, what if Denver finishes like 5.5 game behind OKC for the 2 seed? But I don't know how hot a take that would be based on how they're playing right now.
I think they catch Memphis, to be honest with you. I do. My fault, Ron. They're half a game behind Memphis for the 2 spot. They're half a game behind Memphis for the 2 spot. They got a Laker team coming in on Saturday who they've relatively been successful against. I love the way Russ has been playing. Ron talks about quote unquote Lester, but he's actually been really good as of late. DeAndre Jordan is actually giving him some good minutes off the bench, which is kind of funny that you got a big man that's that old that's still giving them good minutes. So, I mean, they're half a game behind Memphis. I don't think it's ridiculous that they could jump them. And Joker's been great. So,
does that swing the MVP narrative a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, if they finish like 6 game behind in their 2 seed, then yeah, of course. But it just depends.
It depends how close they get to OKC, not if they're the 2 seed or not. If they're the 2 seed and they're 10 games back, it doesn't matter. If they're the 2 seed and it's 5 games, then
yeah, if they play in March, and so they're in OKC. So like if they win those games, or if Jokic goes bonkers in those games, then yeah. But Jokic is gonna have more.
Even if they're not, they're not matched up with each other. Like I understood when the Joel Jokic matchup thing, like if they play good against each other, but they're not even like guarding each other or anything like that. I don't really see how that impacts anything.
Why would that?
To be fair, Joel didn't guard Jokic in that game either. But
right. But just the fact that they're both big, supposed to be Clash of the Titans thing, you know. You know what, Mars? That is such a you know how mad I get when I see Luka and LaMelo both have to be subbed out for offensive, defensive purposes last night. Like, how you call yourself a superstar and you can't stay on the court because you can't guard nobody? That shit is so irking. Like, it just it makes me just want to
which, by the way, Ox, Which, by the way, Ox, they specifically went after him last night with LaMelo. They was looking for that mismatch.
Right, which is, and I understand, I get that part from the Hornets part. And I'm not trying to be real here. I just want to just get that off real quick. Like, I understand that. That's good basketball. You know what I mean? But the fact that Luka Doncic had to come off the court, LaMelo Ball had to come off the court, that is crazy. That is just crazy to me.
You're a liability.
I just can't wrap my head around that.
I don't think defensive liabilities are anything new. Like, I think they've always.
It's not new. It still pisses me off though.
Old shit
pisses me off all the time, Mars. I'll be remembering stuff that happened to me sophomore year in high school. I'll be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But like old stuff still makes me mad. That's crazy.
Bro. But here's the thing, Mars. with defensive liabilities, are defensive liabilities your superstars? Because
Sometimes they are. Sometimes
we can have guys around you to protect you, but on some level, yo, you got to sit in a chair and you got to stand in front of somebody on some
Steve
level.
Nash was a defensive liability.
Yeah.
Yes, Steve
Magic
Nash
Johnson would have got subbed out in this era too. By the way, if he had to play against some of these
No,
guards,
he
Yeah,
would
I
not
think
have.
I think
he
that-
100%
but
would
I-
have.
I-
He
I think-
100%
Let's
would have.
let's talk about
So
what
if he-
happened. Let's talk about what's
Yeah,
going
but
on.
I think
No, I know.
I think the reason it
I'm just bringing
happens
up the
so much
context.
now is
That's it.
because of the rise of mismatch hunting. Back in the 80s, 90s, even the 2000s, mismatch hunting wasn't as much of a thing. So you could have Steve Nash out there. And sometimes he was actually guarding guys like Tony Parker, but that was just because of stupid game plan. But other times it's like Steve Nash is on Bruce Bowen. We're not going to have Bruce Bowen come set a pick to get this switch on Manu Ginobili. So at the end of the day, it's just, well, Steve Nash can stay out there because he's guarding the least offensive threat. Nowadays, you put Luka on the worst offensive player, and he's the one coming to set the pick. We're getting him in the action. Mismatch hunting has just become a more common thing, which is why
I mean, mismatch hunting also isn't new.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's new. I'm saying
more
it happens
prevalent.
more now than ever. That's what
It's
I'm
more
saying.
prevalent.
It happens more
100%
now
it
than ever.
is.
Which is why guys get played off the court now more than they have.
Guys
in
are
the
more
past.
athletic now too.
Guys of yesteryear in today's game, with the prevalence of mismatch hunting to the degree it's at now, probably would have got played off the court. Now they just didn't have to deal with that, and that's not a knock on them. I'm just saying the game has changed. Sometimes the game changes to benefit people. Sometimes it changes to hurt people more. I think that's just how it goes. I'm not holding it against Magic Johnson. I think in today's game, he'd also get mismatch hunted.
Mhm.
But I also think it's a relevant talking point that if we're going to say this guy getting played off the court is a bad thing, we have to understand that a big reason why he's getting played off the court is because of the way the game is set up now, with all the space, with all the athleticism, and all the targeting that happens in today's game is different than what it was 40 years ago.
So
Right. We're not trying to compare. I'm not trying to compare
Yeah.
today to yesterday or the day before. I'm talking about today, regardless of what the reasoning is. These dudes are still on the court. Dorian Finney-Smith is on the court. Gabe Vincent, these dudes are on the court. Why can't you, Mr. I'm top 10 all time? Why are you not on the court?
Well, I guess hold on. Time out. Why is it? But
I understand what you're saying. I'm just like I was just.
I don't understand.
But again,
I'm
trying to. I guess what I'm trying to understand is if something is an obvious. Luka is clearly not either himself physically and cannot stay in front. And if you're getting targeted and they're getting a good possession out of that action every possession down the stretch of a game, why would I not sub you out for a better defensive option that's not going to be as that's more able-bodied or whatever, and that's going to be a winning solution for the team? Like, I personally don't think that. Go ahead.
No. Finish up.
Well, I was just saying I don't understand like why that's you definitely want to have like pride and you want to do it, but also at the same time, like if you don't want to be a detriment to your team, it makes sense for you to be subbed out depending on who you're playing against.
Right there. If I don't want to be a detriment to my team, I will compete on the defensive end. So why you're saying I understand
competing. He was just getting
right. Well, you know what? Be better. Okay, be better. Whatever. However you want to put it on.
To be honest with you, that's it right there.
Just be better.
Just be better sometimes, though.
Well, I mean, it's too late now, but you could have been better. But Swiper, to your point, I understand where you're coming from. Like when you say, well, why wouldn't you if somebody's a detriment? I agree with the coaching. It's like, if I know he's a bum on this side of the court, I'm going to do my job as the coach and get him out of there. So I understand that part of it. All I'm saying is, why are you this way? Why are you why the whole world, I'm talking about the whole world almost shut down like COVID when Luka Doncic got traded. I'm talking about I'm talking about old ladies in 7-Eleven asking me, hey, what's the big deal with this Luka Doncic thing and all this? I said, it's not no big deal. The Memphis Mavericks won. That's what I'm telling these old ladies, right? But the thing about it is, if we shut down the world because you got traded and you can't guard nobody, you got to come out the game in the last minute because you can't. It's just it's crazy to me. So I feel like
lying to old women at the 7-Eleven is crazy.
I lie to young women too.
First of all, Swiper, what?
No discrimination. I love it.
First of all, Swiper, I don't. What I don't understand is when you talk about mismatch hunting. Mars talked about mismatch hunting. Number one, basketball. Why do we have to switch? One, ghost screens. We don't have to do that.
Wait,
two, why do we have to switch ghost screens? We don't have to do that. That's number one. Because a lot of these guys don't screen. In fact,
you should not switch ghost screens.
In fact, you're coming together anticipating that I'm going to switch. That's what you're doing. That's number one. Number two, defense 101. I am taught to get around screens. We don't have to always switch on screens. That doesn't have to always happen. Number three, why aren't we going after these guys more? So to your point, Mars tells me that they didn't mismatch hunt nearly as much. Like, yeah, I want Michael Jordan on. I want Magic Johnson on Michael Jordan, 100%. But
why?
If I'm the offense, I want Magic. I want Magic Johnson on Michael Jordan. But if I'm the defense, okay, Jabbar is back there. Michael Cooper is weak side helping, going, okay, if you are stuck on him, we're gonna jump Jordan. We're gonna do what we can to get the ball out of Jordan's hands. We're not gonna play Magic off the floor because we're switching. No, that's not the way
it just depends on.
But again, that comes down to the difference in how much space there is.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
You go get the ball out of Jordan's hands, and you're probably going to give up a late contest 18-foot jump shot. In today's game, like they did it yesterday, they blitzed with I think it was Dorian Finney-Smith. Luka was in the play. Luka switched. Dorian Finney-Smith then sent that double. LaMelo swung it to, I think, Josh Green, who swung it to Nick Smith, wide open corner three. Like, you just can't do these same strategies you could do 40 years ago. And once again, that's not a knock on how the game was played. Things just change. With more space, you have more ground to cover. If you're sending doubles, if you're putting two on the ball, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Whereas before, even back in the day, putting two on the ball was still a disadvantage. Sure. But what you was giving up was definitely less consequential than what you're giving up today.
But there was layups too, though, Mars, last night.
Yeah, and hey, I'm not here vouching for the Lakers defense. The Lakers defense has its own issues. But I'm speaking in the general sense. Putting two on the ball is more costly now than it was 40 years ago. That doesn't mean it was a good thing to do 40 years ago, but it's different. And the reason teams
because of the long ball, sure.
The reason teams switch ghost screens is not because we just want to switch ghost screens. It's because when you're implementing a switching scheme, you are taught to switch on contact. And that's what you're taught. So the moment you feel that contact, you switch. And teams realize that. So now they don't set the screen. They just slip it or they ghost it, but they still make contact so that now you are out of the play. That sounds the same thing OKC's been doing.
No, hold on, but chill. But you realize
that just comes down to that's how the game has been taught. The same way you said you were taught to get around screens. I would argue is a little bit different because a lot of the time you could just go under screens because of the lack of shooting. But even then, you were taught to get over screens. You were taught to fight. In today's game, with all the switching that happens, you are taught switch on contact because you can't switch late because then you're going to end up with two on the ball and you're going to end up with a disadvantage. So you switch on contact. Teams then realize, okay, we're switching on contact. So all we have to do in this situation is get out quick. Instead of contact setting the screen and then they switch, no, we're just gonna touch. We're gonna slip out, and now they've already switched and they're in a scramble mode because we've got out of the screen before they can even execute the switch. That's why teams switch ghost screens. It's not because they makes sense. A ghost screen comes, we're gonna switch it. No, it's like we don't expect the ghost screen to come. We're expecting to switch on contact, and teams are countering that. That's all it is. It's not just we're just gonna switch everything regardless if it's a ghost screen.
Right. So and
choosing to do that.
Right, but with that minimal contact, I know that minimal contact is coming, right? And I know that because that's the offense. The coach is telling us this minimal contact is coming. More time. You've complained more than anybody up here about Wemby's inability to screen. In fact, they switch a lot on Wemby, even though Wemby doesn't screen. Wemby might put his arm out and touch a guy, but he doesn't screen. More times than not, that happens. More times than not with the Celtics, I see that a lot. However, when I know that a ghost screen is coming, for example, when I seen with the Warriors and the Cavs in the finals, they're looking to get the mismatch with James is on KD, and they're looking to get the mismatch of KD and Kevin Love. James knows that. So with James knowing that, they're not going to screen. James can get around that screen and stay on KD. But what they're anticipating that we're just going to touch, like you just said, and Kevin Love is just going to go to KD. Why are we doing that? Why don't you just stay with this guy?
They switched Kevin Love on to Steph Curry in the NBA Finals, though, because of that exact thing, though. Like, it's sometimes it's the timing. So if you do it, and then if you know that the opposite thing can happen, too, because if you do then don't time it up correctly, now you're scrambling. Because remember, this is the plain example of this is game 1 or 2 with Jamal Murray and Austin Reeves and LeBron. LeBron continues to try to hunt Jamal Murray because he's the smallest player on the lineup for the Nuggets. And so that's the easiest thing for him to switch out on in the playoffs. And so what they did, they tried to do that show and recover to get back to Reeves for Murray, and then that way you keep AG on Braun. But the problem was Murray and Gordon weren't timing it up correctly, and Austin Reeves, when they would try to do the show and recover, Reeves would slip so quickly that he would be back on the left wing wide open for a three-pointer, and so he would get 2 3-pointers off. So if your timing is off, if you don't handle it well, then not only are you giving up another shot, you're giving up an easier shot and a more open shot. And in this era, a wide open 3-point basket is the most dangerous shot you can have in the last 2 minutes. I
understand basketball, but this shit right here sounds way more
complicated. Wait, hold on. Chill, hold on.
I do think the game has become a lot more complicated.
Hold on,
Ron. You guys are making it harder than what it is.
Ron, hold on. I want to understand.
I know how to get around.
Just let the man say his point so I can understand what his contention is.
The thing I'm saying, I understand, Mars, that spacing has made the game a lot tougher in terms of defense because I got to cover more ground. 100%. I got a couple more because I got to cover more ground. I got to close out differently. In addition to me closing out differently, now I can get beat in certain spaces. But it sounds way more complicated from what you guys are saying. Because if I'm covering, I got Jamal Murray in front of me, and they're looking to get a switch. I see that the screen could be coming. I see it. Right? Is it gonna come? He could slip that. Okay. With him slipping the screen, or maybe even coming to me, at minimum, I know that the action is coming to me.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that the action is coming to me. Yeah. So I got 2 choices. One, I know that this guy, if he's going to screen me, he's not going to screen me hard. So I can get around that. And I know that this is what you're looking for. You're looking to get a switch. I know I know that Russ is not going to screen me hard. I know that for a fact. So I'm going to get around this screen. If it's Joker, I know the Joker is going to screen me hard. So this is the switch that they're looking for. They're looking to get me switched on to Joker. So what's going to have to happen? You're going to have to help me because I can't get switched on to Joker. No, because Joker's going to kill me. Because so I have to get around the screen.
Remember the next step of that. Why is so difficult though? Because even if you know that, every team knows that. Like if you watch the Court of Gold documentary, they all know what's coming. The problem is if you got like a LeBron or a Joker or a Luka or any of those kind of players, the issue is it's not just the screen because now you're like, okay, don't give up the slip, get out there quickly. But the thing is, if you are tentative, let's talk LeBron. If you're tentative and you're not quick enough to get through the slip to get back to Reeves, or you show and the other defender is too far off and you're not quick enough to get back into the spot to contest LeBron at the level, then LeBron is going to drive. And now we're in hell because now if LeBron's driving and he has the angle with the defender on his shoulder, now everybody has to make other decisions on the other side of the court.
Luka
now, do we collapse and then we come in on the LeBron, or we let LeBron get a wide open layup because now there's now you got 2 defenders that are both level with LeBron and there's 3 on 4 now. Like that's the issue. It's like, what do I do? Like,
you do know that's the issue with pick and rolls, anyways. That's why you run pick and rolls is because it puts the defense at a disadvantage. The defense is going to be at a disadvantage no matter what.
Always.
The main thing we were talking about. The main thing we were talking about was ghost screens. This is the main thing.
That's what I want to get back.
If you don't touch nobody, you don't need to switch.
Well, the Lakers are a switching scheme, though. To be fair, they're a 5-out switching scheme.
If you're not a switching scheme,
are you talking about so when y'all say ghost screen, are you talking about
that's when they that little fake screen and then just go?
Because I want to make sure. I also make sure we all used to having the same conversation with the
you and me on defense. Both of us are on defense. I'm covering Ron. Swiper is coming over because he wants to get the switch. He wants to get you switched on to Ron, but he's not going to screen me. He's just gonna touch.
It's almost like a fake screen.
So is it a slip or a ghost screen?
Me and Mars can't even make it onto the court in your hypothetical example.
That's all it is.
That's not nice.
Right. So we're talking about a quick slip, not even setting the screen, nothing.
And he's not even slipping. He's not slipping to the basket. He's just coming flaring.
He's flaring out the screen.
It's like you just run past basically.
Right. Okay. Right. So that's not even a. That's
it's
not even
That's not. Hold on. But most times, yesterday wasn't like that though. Yesterday wasn't like that though.
Yeah, right. So either one though, right? So when I'm looking at this, and when you and Ron got there, Ron said it basically what I was gonna say already. When you say 3 and 4, it's like that's basketball. What you just described, that's basketball. That's what it is. Basketball is 5 on 4, 4 on 3, 3 on 2, 2 on 1. Basketball is a consistent disadvantage on the defense. That's why it's so much more effort in IQ than it is me just being better than you. Like
can I ask you a follow-up there?
There's a skill set to defense. I believe 100%. You can learn how to be a better defender, but a lot of that is anticipation. A lot of that is me thinking and using my IQ.
For that example, for you as a big, so because I think you probably in your career played more traditional bigs just because there aren't that many like supernovas that are bigs like traditionally, like come crazy level scores, 3 level, like boom, boom, boom. Like that's just not something that exists.
That's just when you playing them top end dudes.
Right. So, but you were very good at what you did at your level, but there's also like obviously another level. But Ox, for you, if you're playing defense on like Embiid or Jokic, for instance, now if they're setting the screen, you know it's within your best interest. You probably want to switch depending on what it is. Now, here's why. But here's the thing, chill. Because now if Jokic sets a screen at the nail, let's just pretend.
Right.
If you drop on Jamal Murray, you're cooked. If you ice on Jamal Murray, you're probably cooked, because if you ice, we're going empty side on an ice, and I'm floating to the left, and either I'm getting you to pull 2 out to me and Joker's wide open at the top of the key or the nail, or if I pull you out to that left corner, now you have to switch because the big has to step out to me because now you can't get around Joker fast enough. Or the other action, if we're at the top of the key, if we run a pick and roll with Joker has a nice little slip pass right to the little short pocket, and now Joker has a 3-man decision to make. It's a lob, it's a floater, or it's a corner. So I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I said about Magic, Chill. I think Magic would be a much worse defender than he was in this example, because now if you have to switch Magic onto one of these elite bigs or just tantalizing post-scoring big, or you got to slip Magic onto Steph Curry or Dame or Jamal or any of these players that are really good at ISO at the top of the nail in a pick and roll situation down the stretch of a game, this is what I mean. I think that like the reason why the Lakers are contending we're going to switch 5 out, they don't have the personnel, Chill. There's nothing else they can do.
So
now think about it. If they put 2 on ball, Chill, like it's Luka and Reeves or whatever. 2 on ball. Go ahead.
Dorian.
I think we did the same thing like where we are today with the pick and roll action. I mean, how many teams don't run pick and roll action? Everybody.
The Memphis Grizzlies run it. They only get 10 possessions a game pick and roll.
Generally run less pick and rolls than they have in like recent years, but there's still a lot of pick and roll.
A lot of pick and roll action. I didn't see Magic switching on the Malone when Stockton and Malone were running the pick and roll. And Malone's one of the best screeners in NBA history.
They went under, that's why.
Right. And that's the point that I'm making, Moss. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because you're talking about a guy getting played off the court. Okay. Yes. So Jamal Murray coming off a screen, right? Jamal Murray coming off a screen with Joker. If I go over the top of the screen, if Jamal Murray's going to stick this 19-footer, I do have somebody on the weak side that's going to help, right? I do have somebody that what am I going to give up? I'm going to give up Michael Porter Jr. knocking down a 3 in the corner because I help. Am I going to give that up, or am I going to give up Jamal Murray knocking down a wide open?
What would you do?
18. Am I going to give down? I would probably give up Michael Porter Jr. knocking down the 3. I will live with him shooting that as opposed to Jamal.
Let's
get to the mathematics.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying.
The thing about it is you got to give up something though.
No, but I'm saying. In the NBA now,
Michael Porter Jr. is shooting 41.7% from 3. Yeah, that's not just wide open threes. That's just threes in general.
Right.
So that means you are willing to give up. That is 3 times. Wait, let's do 3 times.
It's like 1.1.
You are willing to give up an 125 defensive rating. That's the best option you have.
125 defensive rating.
Yeah, so 1.25 per possession, like per shot.
Okay, 1.25 points per shot. You willing to give that up? That's the best case scenario you got.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to run that action. If that's the case, then I got to run that action. I got to deter that action away from Michael Porter.
Yeah, that's why teams send it to Aaron Gordon. That's
right.
Why
so Aaron Gordon's in the low man though. Chill. I think that's
when you start putting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chill, but chill. No, but that's no chill. Chill. Listen. Because I know you're frustrated, but that's what I'm saying. That's why this era playing defense versus these kinds of teams are so difficult. Because now, remember, the Nuggets don't have a 2-man game; they have a 3-man game. Because they built the lob into their 2-man game. Because if you don't guard Joker correctly, he's going to hit 70% on that floater, or he's getting to the post where he's unstoppable, or he's throwing the lob to Gordon, or he's throwing it out to Porter.
Right.
And that's why the Lakers keep losing. Like, what do you do there? You have to have like a very peculiar kind of defensive personnel to be able to defend those things, like OKC. But y'all, even OKC can get ripped up depending on who they're playing against and how they play those things.
To swipe,
MPJ shoots 48% on wide open threes.
So he's knocking down almost 50% of his threes. I wonder what's Jamal Murray? What's Jamal Murray knocking down in terms of mid-range, wide open mid-range shots? Because I'm obviously not going to give up a guy shooting almost 50% wide open at the long ball.
He won back-to-back games on late mid-range.
I'm obviously not going to do that. But this is what I want to get back to. I want to get back to what we were talking about, getting played off the floor. I understand that the game is more complex today.
46% from mid-range
because you implement the long ball and how much differently that changed the game. Because how much more ground I got to cover. I get that part, but I have to be able to, one, make you play defense, and two, make you play defense, and then two, I have to be able to get around screens and make things difficult for you. What I'm going to do when Luka is coming off a screen, am I more comfortable with Luka putting me in jail, or am I more comfortable going under a screen and Luka knocking down, and I'm going under it and Luka knocking down a three, or Luka knocking down a 19-footer? Am I more comfortable with Luka knocking down a three, going under the screen? Because it's so much more action if he has me on his hip going downhill. Way more action there than it is.
But a Luka step back to the left.
You would just go under these screens.
Great players don't give you easy decisions, Joe.
I'm gonna have to give up. And if I'm dealing with,
I'll be interested. If I was a coach, I'd see. I'd try. I'd see.
If I'm dealing under every screen, I got not every screen. No, not every screen. I gotta give you. I gotta give you different looks, but. For the most part, what do I feel the most comfortable with? I feel the most comfortable with Luka shooting 17 to 20 to 22 footers. I do not feel comfortable going around the screen and Luka's got me on his hip and he's getting downhill.
Luka's not going to shoot a mid range if you go.
Yeah, he's gonna. But a Luka left side step three under a screen with 3 to 6 feet of room is like a. You're asking to die. I mean, that's what Luka does.
You're using Luka for the demonstration.
You're sending him right. That's what you're doing. You send him right, but you go under, so that Luka either has to shoot that pull-up three going right, where he's not as comfortable.
But he's gonna reset the screen.
Okay, we come to that bridge when we come to it. The first plan is you send him right. Go under.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reset that screen if you're gonna do that.
It's over, cool, whatever. But no, the first plan is you send him right while going under, and you hope he just shoots pull-up threes.
You blitz Luka.
Hell no.
Wait. No, whatever you do, chill. Well, then it don't matter. We talking about Luka Doncic for the example. You're getting cooked either way. Like we got to be a little more realistic with this example. Let's use somebody else because Luka Doncic. You talking about Luka Doncic coming downhill at me? What am I going to do? You going to get cooked? That's
what
makes defense so hard is that every team has these elite offensive players. That's what makes defense so hard. So
yeah, not like
Luka might be the outstanding circumstance, but like we could just go to Cleveland talking about Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
We can guard them. We can guard them.
That's why I was
to an extent. I'm saying
their offensive personnel at the same.
I think the issue is we want to have an absolute discussion about something that has to be discussed very relatively, right? When we're talking cross eras, we're talking offense, defense, talking about spacing. I think the conversation is somewhat muted if you just say it's because of the three. I think it's maybe disingenuous to say players are just better. I think players are just more complete. They're way more complete. And offense is more complex, not necessarily better or worse, but you could argue it's better because you wouldn't go backwards.
Why is it more complex though, Pin? Because we can't just say it's more difficult today. Okay, the reason why it's more complex is because of because you implement the long ball. That's why
you've had the long ball since the era you're talking about.
Guys weren't shooting at that rate though, Pin.
They're not shooting at the rate, but also consider who's shooting, how good they are at shooting, what types of shots they can get. We're talking about a 3-point shot from the corner for Bruce Bowen, and it's a standstill shooter. But if you could guard that initial pump fake, he's not step back, sidestep, one dribble pull up. That's not his game. And increasingly, the league.
Hold on, big news. Sorry, from Shams. Victor Wembanyama expected to miss the remainder of the season with a deep vein thrombosis in the right shoulder.
I retract my earlier statement, and he
Here
just
we
missed out on
fucking
DPOY.
go.
He just missed out on
So
DPOY.
Evan Mobley, DPOY,
There
congratulations.
you go.
Congratulations
I
to
mean,
Evan Mobley.
First of all, prayers up for Victor Wembanyama.
He got a what?
He has a deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder.
It's a blood clot, basically.
Yeah.
A blood
I
clot.
don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't
much.
want to hear that. That's some bullshit. I don't want to hear that. Wemby? Damn, that sucks.
No, we'll see. I hope he all right, man.
Well, hopefully he recovers. Obviously, like we're not. Yeah,
There have been
hopefully
several
he recovers.
players who've had blood clot issues, and obviously the
Thompson,
fear of Asar Thompson, Christian Coloco, Chris Bosh. Like there have been a lot of these issues. Obviously, you want to err on the side of caution because this could be life threatening for some players as well, and you definitely don't want to see someone fainting on the court. Like that's not only a health disaster but a PR disaster. I mean, I prayers out for Wemby. He's genuinely one of my favorite players in the league. So
mine too.
Really praying
Mine
for
too.
him. I do want to get back to what we were talking about with this. What you were saying about the complication of the offense and stuff.
Sure.
Like, I'll ask you this question. We've all seen players in college who are great in college, but then they step up to the pros and something changes and they're not able to accelerate at the same level. Conversely, we've also seen players struggle in college and be better pros. So what does that usually come down to? It's not magic. It's not they didn't pray to a different God. It's usually an equation of space. There's a lot more space in the NBA. That's going to help some people and that's going to hurt some people. If you're an undersized guard playing in college, it's going to help you. Less space means it's good for you. Everybody's a little bit closer together. You can navigate those tight gaps a little bit better. But if you're a big playmaker like a Giannis, playing college basketball is not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. Everything's more congested. The line is in. So now all those gaps that you need to actually attack, that's going to actually be a lot tougher to attack. So the other thing I will say about the Luka, and there's a lot of offensive players, offensive superstars like Luka and Trae Young who catch a lot of strays for being bad defenders. What does one thing have to do with the other? That's all I'm going to say. What does one thing have to do with the other? What makes Luka Doncic a great offensive player has nothing to do with defense at all. His deceleration does not help him on defense. The only thing that's helping him on defense is that he's a big human being who has long arms. That's it. But he has lateral quickness issues, and he's had lateral quickness issues his whole life. And that's not going to get easier in the modern NBA. That actually gets harder in the modern NBA. And it's the same thing with Jokic. You could look at him and say, oh, he's 6'11", 7 feet tall. He should be able to block shots. It's like, what about him says that he should be able to block shots? The fact that he is a miracle maker on offense is a testament to his basketball IQ and his like a lot of stuff that really doesn't translate to the defensive end. There's a lot of players in NBA history we could look at, like Dennis Rodman, who are beasts defensively, and we could probably do the same argument. Why can't you shoot threes, Dennis Rodman? Why can't you be a great offensive player? Why are you not a better ball handler, Dennis Rodman? We don't do that with defenders though. So that to me, like that kind of irks me a little bit when we denigrate or malign stars for not showing up on both ends. It's like, yeah, put in effort. But there's nothing about Domantas Sabonis or Alperen Şengün when I'm looking at them. It's just like that should be a dominant defender. You know what I mean?
And that part that
I'm about to
go ahead. I
step
know you got to
in
land the plane, Ron. Go ahead.
because we have breaking news right now,
More?
and it's unfortunate as well.
It's the same breaking news, but he wasn't here when Swap already announced it. So
Oh, okay. Well, let's transition and let's talk about it. Victor Wembanyama out for the rest of the season. How do we feel about this? How does it impact the NBA? How does it impact the Spurs? And what is just your thoughts on this? And Swipe it, did you say what it was?
Yeah.
Deep vein.
The Spurs. The thing about it is the Spurs might still be all right though. Like like this last 30 games, it's not like they still got Devin, De'Aaron. You know what I mean?
Well, they aren't making the playoffs like that.
Well, obviously they're not making. They weren't making the playoffs either way. I'm just saying, like they,
Yeah, but any hope they had is gone.
My bold take.
What I'm saying is this is a team. This is a team that we could still watch. That's all I'm saying. Like we could still watch this team play basketball.
Oh, yeah.
This wrecks them.
Yeah,
100% this wrecks them.
They weren't making the playoffs anyway, though. Chill,
But they were on some level. They were going to be competitive on the defensive end. They're going to be competitive on the offensive end. You got a long ball shooter. You got a guy who can stretch the defense. You can get quick hits from him on the block. They ran a lot of their offense through him. He still was trying to figure out who he was as an offensive player. But on some level, it was working. Now you take Wemby off the floor. we have to switch up everything we're doing on offense, particularly on defense. We got to switch up everything we're doing. So Wemby as a rim protector, Wemby as a rebounder, Wemby as a shot blocker, Wemby as a paint presence. We now have to be more of a gang rebounding team. We have to now be more conscious one-on-one. See, when I got and I've said, I'm sure I sound like a broken record when I say this to you guys, but when I got a big guy behind me that could clean up my mess, I'm more aggressive on the wing. I'm more aggressive on the perimeter as a defender because I got somebody behind me that's going to clean up my mistakes. If I don't have that, I got to be really conscious about how I'm defending. I can't close out as hard as I normally would. I can't go for fakes. I can't be as anticipatory as I used to be in the past, right? I can't get beat on simple things that I wouldn't normally get beat on. I have to be more conscious being in the passing lane when I go for steals and things like that because I don't have this guy behind me to clean up my mess. So this is a big blow.
Well, chill. The way I'm looking at it though is that this season is a wash. All right, that's cool. But doesn't this do more for them in the long run as far as getting these guys off of Victor Wembanyama? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't depend on the big fella right now. So you have to get better at that. Like for instance, when you say I got to when I close out, I can't close out for the steals. Well, now not only that, but when you close out and you get beat, you can't just watch. You can't expect, oh, Vic got me. Nah, now you got to turn the sprint, get back in front of your man. You got to cut off the baseline. You got to really stick to these defensive principles that are going to make you ultimately a better team defense. You know what I mean? Because a lot you like you just said, so you're basically saying it. When I got Vic, he's covering me. That's my insurance. You don't got no insurance now. Drive a little more cautious. You know what I mean? So does this make them a better defensive team in the long run just by losing a young fella for the last 30 games of this year?
Well, that's kind of what's been going on with the Lakers. And I know this sounds ridiculous. I mean, despite what happened last night, I mean, if he right before they lost Anthony Davis, I did see some differences with them, like in their rotations, how they gang rebounded, stuff like that. I did see that with them. San Antonio, on the other hand, I mean, they're so reliant on Vic as a rebounder. They're so reliant on him that, especially in this little bit of time, I mean, it's going to be difficult to recover from this. Very, really difficult to recover from this.
Well, they're not recovering from it. It's
sink
over for this season.
You're right.
It's fine. They got their squad for next year. You know, the biggest thing is I'm worried for Vic. It's just, you know, they said it's an isolated issue, so it shouldn't be something that sticks with them after this. But that's just always something you want to take care of.
I do want to say that there is research to suggest that the taller you are, the more likely you are to get blood clots.
Is that a fact, Ben? I did not know that.
Yeah, so science cannot explain why that is, but apparently, like the taller you are, the more likely you are to certain issues, and blood clots is one of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, and one of the more like unfortunate parts of this whole situation with Victor is he's only played 46 games, which means he's not eligible for for awards.
Any postseason awards. Yep.
So and it was his. He had it.
The DPOI.
100%. He had it locked.
We'll never know.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I don't think he would have. I don't know. Because Jaren Jackson Jr., how many games did he play when he won DPOY that year? Anybody remember?
Jaren Jackson?
I don't know.
I want to say he missed like 30 games that year or something like that.
Yeah, but there's a 65-game rule now.
He played 63.
63 games, Mars, did you say?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, like, I don't even think he would have qualified for anything with 46 games prior to the rule anyway. Like, I don't think he would have made a team with 46 games played.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, I'm saying prior to the 65 game rule.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know if they would have. I mean, I know LeBron made one of Booker. I think it was Booker. Somebody made 13 All NBA for me, I think, but he played like 52 games that year. I literally can't remember what the exact.
Didn't KD make the All Pro team? Not KD. I'm sorry. Didn't Leonard make the All Pro team in 21? And I think he played 48 games that year.
There have been some players who've made it with 55.
21 was a 72 game season.
21 was 72. 22, he missed that whole season. So
I just hope Wemby recovers, man, because Asar Thompson had, I think it was a deep vein thrombosis, and he couldn't get on a court for like 8 months. So not only do
they're 100% going to be way more cautious about this, Mars, because again, to Penn's point, the last thing that we want is to see this dude pass out and die on national television. No, hell no, that is not happening. I don't think so.
That's the bit, like, Wemby's losing a lot of development time. just because he won't be allowed on the court. So
Yeah.
that's a major concern. Assuming he can like come back from this. I'm not.
Yeah, some people that
hopefully it's not a career ender or anything.
there's some
But
people that
even
have
if
blood
it's not,
clots
he
have to
just
get
loses a
blood
lot of
thinner.
time.
I don't know. I don't think he's too young. He told you probably won't need it, but a lot of people at least here that are older, they need blood thinner for the rest of their lives to deal with clots. But he could be very young. So,
Damn.
Hopefully he recovers, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought he was cruising for his way to first team, maybe even second team.
He was
So
definitely going to be
obviously-
an All-Pro this year. Yes, he was.
Yeah, obviously he doesn't get that either. So it's just kind of unfortunate.
I mean, it's not the way he wanted it to happen, but I can see a very real Carl Anthony Towns to be first team All NBA this year. I mean, this is definitely possible where things are right now.
It was already possible before this.
No, I know, but like I thought Wemby was going to get that fifth spot with Luka out, and so I think that Shea, Jokic, Tatum, Giannis is going to be Cat, Brunson, I guess Edwards for some people. I don't even know.
So you had Wemby over Cat for first team All NBA.
Well, if you look at what San Antonio is doing right now, what do they have? 23 wins. So we got 26 or 27 games left. Of these next 27 games with Wemby in the lineup, how many games do you think that they win? In if you're just guessing off the top of your head, I think they can win 10 more games.
15 and 12, something like that.
So let's say 15. So okay, swipe it. That's 38 games. That's a 16-game improvement, which means they're on an upswing with Wemby in the lineup. 100% they're on an upswing. And that's not just Wemby's development, him getting better. That's all of these guys getting better with Wemby. That's these guys getting better looks at the rim.
They're just better now
guys,
with De'Aaron Fox at the leading the way as well.
On top of that, with adding De'Aaron Fox, I mean, I felt like they're getting better. They were on an upswing. Losing Wemby kind of throws a monkey wrench in their development. And I don't just mean with Wemby, I mean with the whole crew.
That's facts. And also, I don't think you can play that double point guard lineup without a 7'4" back there. Guys just don't. You're so small with that lineup, so it changes everything for sure.
Well, we when you say that double point guard lineup with
Fox and CP3, like you're a very small team with those two there. So I mean, the 7'4" back there kind of balances you out a little bit. You're still small, but at least it balances you out a little bit. I think to your point, like the Fox plus Wemby, development runs were very, very important going into next season. Obviously, they wanted to make the play in, get them some experience, some reps. I mentioned this before. The average team that wins a championship wins 55 games per year in the 3 years prior to winning a championship. So it doesn't just happen overnight. You don't just trade for De'Aaron Fox and win a championship right away. Pardon?
That makes me nuts. That makes me nuts when I hear that. Like when people say, these dudes, this team just came out of nowhere.
You need scars. Like you need scars. You need like tough losses. You need character builders. You need to learn each other. Like it's just not going to happen overnight. And it's not going to happen overnight for the Lakers either, especially when you're implementing a big piece like
Denver
Luka.
definitely did not win 55 games for the 3 years prior. Did win all those injuries before they won, but yeah, definitely.
If we're being fair though, but Swiper,
they won 50, 54, and then they were the 4th seed or whatever, third. I can't remember what they were.
In 21, when y'all were the third seed, that was a 50+ win. That was a 55.
No. 20, they were 18, 19, 54. They were the 3rd seed or whatever they were the next
Jamal
year.
Murray tears up his knee that year.
And then the 6th year, they were 48 games in 21, 22.
No Jamal Murray, no
they were
MPJ.
53. The championship year, 57 last year, and they might win 57 again this year.
Depends point. Yes, depends
point. That's pretty close.
If those guys don't get injured, they 100% are 50+
No,
wins.
I ran the numbers a year ago.
You're right about the Celtics, the Warriors, the Thunder are another one of those.
There were exceptions, obviously, as anything. When I say average 55, there's outliers. There's teams that won 60 on average, right? And then there's teams that won way less. Like for instance, the Boston Celtics, 2008 Boston Celtics, they won way fewer.
Oh yeah, right? That was a completely different team though. They just
that is a completely different team because they put that team together. Ray Allen and KG just kind of showed up and they melded together so well. But yeah, it's usually like that. And I think the Spurs have every incentive to tank now, and that's a scary thought because they also have the Atlanta pick.
My gosh,
in a very good draft, and they also have future picks.
My gosh.
We're gonna get Cooper Flagg.
This is what the Thunder did. This is what they did. And again, they didn't have a blood clot, obviously, issue that was plaguing their best player, but the Thunder shut down SJ because they were winning too many damn games with him 2 years ago. And then they get J-Dub, and then they're like, oh snap, we can do boom, boom, boom. And then they get Chet, and it's like sit him out for a year, boom, boom, boom. And then they get Case and Wallace, boom, boom, boom. And then they get Andrew Wiggins, boom, boom, boom. Like or Aaron Wiggins. They load up. And all the while, they keep Kendrick Williams. Everybody and their mama was trying to get Kendrick Williams 3 years ago. You're like, nah, we're good. We'll hold off on that. And then they added all these veterans to their roster and got all these picks. And then they got Shea, developing the Shea. And now they have Shea, Chet, J-Dub, Case and Wallace, Wiggins. And then they get, Isaiah Joe. We can fix him. Bring Isaiah Joe in. And then you can load up. So the Spurs literally could just be like, all right, we got Wemby, we got Sohan, Devin Vassell, and we got De'Aaron Fox, and we got Stephon Castle. Okay,
and Harrison Barnes.
Okay, let's get 2 more in the draft. Add 2 more draft picks to this team. Here we go. The next thing you know, it's OKC Spurs for the rest.
I was about to say that's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. We looking at
Stephon Castle going to win. Is Stephon Castle going to win Rookie of the Year now?
No, it's going to.
I think he might. Yeah, he might, just with the extra opportunity and how well he's been looking prior to the All-Star break. Maybe.
I think he was going to win it.
Jalen Wells, but
with Wemby, like he's been playing a whole lot better.
And Penn, just so you know, and Mars can attest to this, we saw Castle in San Francisco. He's every bit of 6'6". There's nothing 6'3" or 6'4" about him.
Oh, by the way, Donovan Mitchell was damn near Chill's height, by the way, y'all.
Nobody.
I didn't think he was 6'6".
Mars didn't know he was that big until we actually seen him. Yes, he's a bit.
And Penn, Darius Garland is legit 6'1.5", but Donovan Mitchell's legit 6'3", dog. Like he's not as short as I once thought he was. He's a legitimate, like damn near 6'3". Like he's a big dude. Like
Trae Young is 6'7".
No, Trae Young's tall. He's tall too, but just not tall. Like he's tall, but it's not tall.
Trae Young
is 6 foot.
We're talking about basketball players. So
they're like he's tall
relative to other humans.
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, he's not as short as you thought. Like Dame feels short when you see him. Like he's not. He's like me and Dame are like the same height. Like he feels like whatever. Yeah, Steph is a little bit taller too. Steph is like
when you see like a player like Nate Robinson on the court, like you get a real perspective on how tall NBA players actually are compared to average people. Like TJ Ford was 5'10", which is about the average height of an American male. Yeah. And he looked like he was at some players' like ankles. You know what I mean? Like he looked like he was at the hip. When he get down in his drive, he's like, oh, he's gonna dive into his hip. He can go through his legs here. So yeah, I mean, I get
Mobley was huge. Jaren Jackson Jr. is huge. Şengün's tall-ish. Jokic is huge. Shea's tall. Wemby's huge.
I just thought what I don't like is even this is an unfortunate situation, and yeah, Mobley's probably going to win it by default. But I just wanted it to be a legit competition. I wanted to see it through to the end of the season because I thought Mobley was the defensive player of the year. I did. I thought he had a really
on the 8th ranked defense in the league.
They're actually 9th, but I thought he had a legit shot. And so Swiper, I mean, the last guy to win defensive player of the year on the team that was like that, I think it was Lonzo Mourning in 2000. Miami was 7th. It was Alonzo Mourning. It was 7th in defense in 2000 when he won defensive player of the year. So
where were the Nuggets in 07?
They relaxed.
They were 14. That's where they were.
Mm-hmm. Bringing up some childhood memories for Swiper.
Yeah. No, I thought he won deservingly.
The point and the Dikembe Mutombo also when he won it, I think it was in '95 when he won it. I think in
by the way, I was watching Dikembe Mutombo highlights the other day. He was getting cooked, by the way. I don't know. He would have got beat up this era.
I just wanted to see it. I wanted to see it through because like when you win things by default in the NBA.
That man on skates.
Yes, he did.
And he's talking about Mutombo will be elite in this era, bro. I love Mutombo, man, but no way. Mutombo couldn't move sideways, Chill. Like, could not move sideways. He would have got obliterated by Jokic in the meeting them now. Obliterated. Shout out though. Dave Robinson can play in there 100%. 100%.
I know and again, I speculate as much as I possibly can, but I'm on record saying that Joker would have busted Alonzo Mourning ass.
Alonzo Mourning's just too small.
Yeah, he would have busted his ass. You can't sell me any other way. he would have bust his.
Arvydas Sabonis would bust in David's face in too, by the way. But I know he wasn't gonna. Arvydas would have been crazy in this era
Bust
as
in
well.
face.
Y'all, I want to get back to. I want to
Oh.
get back to Wemby though in the Spurs.
Yeah.
In the Spurs
Children.
specific. We thought obviously we know Wemby's out, but let's look at the positive side for the Spurs. All right, De'Aaron Fox now still gets to mesh with his other teammates. De'Aaron Fox, Sohan, Vassell, Keldon, all of those guys get to build up chemistry now.
Fair enough.
De'Aaron Fox is not making the playoffs.
You know what we're about to see? We're about to see more underhanded free throws and point guard minutes for Jeremy Sohan.
I
That's
don't
what's
understand why
that's what
Fox
we're about
wanted
to see.
out, man.
Now we have to make the playoffs. Yeah.
Wait, what? You said what,
we
Joe?
have to make the playoffs now.
You don't know why he wanted out?
Because he ain't want to be in Sacramento.
He's been in the
Well,
play.
Fox-
He played
Fox-
3 playoff
Fox-
games in 7 years.
Fox gonna be able to get his surgery though. Well, it's
I want to stick with Wemby, Ron. I do. I want to stick with Wemby, and I think that this thing between him and Wemby is going to work. I do. I 100% believe that. But Sack could have paid him the most. They were the number 3 seed. They end up losing in the dogfight. He breaks his hand. The next year, that's a 50-plus win team if Monk doesn't go out of the lineup for a month.
What year?
The next year, which is last year. If Monk doesn't go out of the lineup, that's a 50-plus win team. This season, they started to get it together when they ended up getting off of Mike Brown.
And they're not winning anybody. They're not beating anybody in the first round series, though. That was the point.
But is that really? I mean, so if they would have won 50 games like I thought that they would win, if
last year
Fox,
that was.
I'm talking about this year. I ain't even talking about him getting traded to San Antonio. I'm talking about this year. If Fox stays in Sacramento and they run up on Houston in round 1, they run up on Minnesota in round 1.
What?
I don't hate their chances.
Minnesota.
I don't hate their chances against them. I don't. I do not hate their chances. But with him running with Wemby, to your point, Ron, him running with Wemby, I think the dynamic between them two, I think you're going to have a better pick and dive offense. I think you're going to have a better pick and pop offense. As fast as Foxy is, I think that offense is now going to get sped up when Wemby gets more acclimated to playing with Fox. And hopefully he'll be healthy enough to see that. I'd like to see more quick hits with Wemby, just getting to the block, real quick buckets, him just running to the rim and burying guys underneath the basket. I'd like to see more of that. But to your point, guys like Devin Vassell, I mean, Wemby was in and out of the lineup last year anyway, off the strength that they were trying to preserve him. So it wasn't like Wemby played. I mean, he played the most this season than he's played. So it's not like him getting on the crew, him being out of the lineup, that automatically they haven't seen that before. Well, that's what was going on last year too.
Right. But you know what I need to see from the Spurs? First, I just want to see a lot of De'Aaron, Castle, and Vassell. I want to see a lot of them 3 getting out and going. But I want Coach to go small and go with those 3, Keldon Johnson and Sohan. I need to just see it. I just want to see him running. Now, I don't mean play like that all game, Mars. I'm just saying.
Hey, I think that'd be a hell of a lineup.
Give me 5 minutes.
I love that lineup.
Hey, give me 5 minutes of that real quick.
How much better is Keldon Johnson than Grant Williams?
A lot better. I like Keldon. I just like Keldon Johnson. I just like Keldon Johnson. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Y'all be hating on Keldon. Y'all make it seem like Keldon just sucks.
Keldon,
he a big body.
He
a big body. He very athletic, strong.
What?
Puts his head down, gets to the hoop. Y'all say his defense is trash. I don't see how his defense just.
How big is Keldon legit?
Well, you thought De'Aaron Fox was an elite defender too.
I still do.
So like, so he around the same size as Castle, is what you're saying?
Nah, Castle's taller than him. Keldon's
more broad.
Keldon's just big. He big like. But either way though, I'm not even saying like that's the answer to all your problems. You know what I'm saying? You should play these 5 guys. No, I'm just saying I want to see them on the court together. I just want to see it a little bit. I don't think
they ain't playing for anything.
Yeah, obviously, the Spurs is terrible. You lose your best. Well, I don't know if De'Aaron's probably the best player. They lost the young fella. You know what I'm saying? They lost the young fella, but I still think they'll be. I think this is a blessing in disguise. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things where they're going to be better because of this.
Yeah. If I'm ever feeling heartbroken, don't talk me into it, bro. Matter of fact,
I would never talk you into it. If she broke your heart, what? Talk you into it. We're going what? So that's how we get detergent. Now hurry.
The Spurs don't have their draft pick this year.
They do.
They got Atlanta's.
They got Atlanta's as well.
They're gonna get two. They're gonna get two premium talents in that room.
They're gonna get
And they're good at drafting
generally.
generally.
1 and 2 pick.
I think the Atlanta pick is at least protected. Is it?
I thought
No,
it was
it's not protected. It's
Yeah, I thought it was
unprotected.
unprotected.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
remember they got 3
They
unprotected.
raw
picks.
dogging this.
Mars, think
Yeah,
of think,
3
think
unprotected
about
They're
picks
gonna
for
get the
Jonathan.
top 2 picks.
I was about to say, Mars, think about this. Like, let's be honest. What's realistic? If
3 unprotected for the Jonathan.
Spurs got like if the Spurs got like the 2nd and the 5th pick, like how awesome is that for them?
Yeah, you get Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. I'll take that. I think that's
Are you
a
taking
very good
Dylan
return.
Harper?
That would be amazing. That's why that would be who I would take personally, but that would be cool.
Are you
Yeah,
taking Dylan Harper?
yeah.
Oh,
take
no.
Dylan Harper.
I got Castle and Fox. Why am I taking Dylan Harper?
Because Dylan Harper's gonna be better than both of them.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You know
can
what that
take as many
means?
swings as you want. That's the thing.
I don't know about that.
Me neither. And I mean, what about Dylan Harper? I mean, I seen Dylan Harper play at Rutgers, and
Well, who's getting the first round pick right now in this scenario? The first pick in this scenario we're building.
we don't know who's getting it. And
If they get 2 and 5.
Charlotte gonna get Cooper Flagg. That's what's gonna happen.
Wait. So are y'all telling me Cooper Flagg is this good right now? Check it out. Let's say the Spurs get 2 and 4, 2 and 4, something like that, right? 2 and 4, 2 and 5, right? Are you telling me that he's so good that you don't take 2 and 4 for the one?
I would.
Yep.
Is that? Are you like?
You're saying you would try and package the 2 picks and get Cooper?
Yeah,
package the
100%.
I would
2 picks
try.
and-
Yeah, I would
and
try.
Keldon Johnson.
I don't think the
100%.
team. I don't.
And I'll give you
And
Keldon
Keldon
Johnson.
Johnson.
Take
Yeah.
Keldon.
Yeah.
Johnson.
Get your ass up.
2
I
and
would
4
try it.
and Keldon Johnson, Charlotte. Here you go.
Hey, give me Cooper Flagg.
You get you a building block next to Brandon Miller and Keldon Johnson.
Offer that trade. I would definitely try and get it done. I don't know
Right,
if
but
we
the
would
Charlotte, if you're Charlotte, do you take it though?
Yeah,
I
100%.
would. If I was Charlotte, I would take it.
I
If you,
would.
if you
That's
had
a win.
but knowing Charlotte, Mars, you know what? I need your one next year too.
Fox, if you had a
You're telling
dollar
me
bill,
I can
you
get
take
my
Cooper
one.
Flagg
my
and
2
Ace
quarters and a
Bailey
nickel
Cooper
for your
Flagg?
dollar
Yeah, I
bill.
would do it.
If I give you my one next year, that's going to be the 20th overall pick. We making the playoffs.
Is that what
Flagg
that is? Spin 2 quarters of the nickel for $1. That's what that is.
Just so we're clear, Keldon Johnson is the nickel in this case. But yes,
Yeah, I know.
okay.
I would try.
Yo,
it,
Keldon
yeah.
Johnson,
If I
he
was
could
the Spurs, I
buke
would
you.
try that. I don't know if the team.
I
would
hate
be
that.
I
better.
mean,
Alright,
Keldon, all
I would
right,
try
but
it.
like, I mean, he's already been paid. So that
If
that
you're
means
San Antonio and you end up with the number 2 and the number 5 pick, or the number 2 and the number 4 pick, I am on the phone with whoever has the number 1 pick.
all right. Give
and
me
I
a call.
will
Give me a
win.
call. I'm San Antonio. I got Cooper Flagg. No. You're San Antonio.
I'm San Antonio.
I'm Charlotte. I got the number 1 pick, Cooper Flagg.
Hey, I know how you feeling, and I know that you got.
I don't think
I'm not
you
sure.
know how I'm feeling.
I'm not sure how you feel about. This is what I'm asking you, because I know that you wouldn't do it, right? I know that you wouldn't move off of.
I'm so glad you know that.
I know that you wouldn't move off, but I'm asking you hypothetically, with the number 1 overall pick, like what would it take to come off of that for you? What would interest you?
We like that. We like Wemby.
So
We
something
like that French kid.
something to that effect. So something
Sure.
like Wemby.
What are you offering? What are you offering?
Well, I got the number 2 pick, and I got the number 5 pick. I have
Nice.
that.
Keep
And
going.
the reason why
going.
the reason why I'm asking you this, Pin, right? The reason why I'm asking you this is because I know you wouldn't do it, but I'm trying to gauge to see, what it would take for
Keep going.
the number 1 pick.
Okay,
So
you got the number 2. I like the number 2. That's
I
nice.
got the number 2 pick. I also have the number 5 pick too, which would entice you off the strength that you get. Not only do you get 2 first rounders, 2 lottery picks, right? You get 2 lottery picks. What else? Because I can't give you Wemby. I can't do that.
Okay.
I'm
a reasonable man.
Yo, chill. You're supposed to get on the phone and tell him hand over the kid, Pin.
No,
I mean, you got. There's also the
I'm trying
chance
to
that
deal
the
here.
Spurs
You need
wouldn't
to go.
take
You need to go to
Cooper
Rob
Flagg first pick.
Pelinka's school of negotiation. You can't be underselling what you're offering so
I'm
much.
not.
You started out with, I'm not going to do it. This is terrible negotiations.
Well,
If-
here's the thing.
If my kid is ever held up in a hostage situation, you are not the negotiator. I'll tell you that. Okay.
Well, okay. This is what I'm saying. When I say I know you're not going to do it, I'm saying that to entice you. That's why I'm saying.
So it's a reverse.
Yeah.
You using reverse psychology.
Yes,
I
that's
know
why
you're not going to do it.
I
You're
know
not going to trade
I knew he
Cooper
was
Flagg.
getting from the
right. I know.
beginning.
What, hey,
He
hey,
wrote-
hey, Ox, what did Nelly say? I got a foal in the basement. I'm just playing. Unless you're gonna do it.
Nah,
Unless you're gonna do it.
I
I'm
don't
just
think it
playing.
had-
But
I don't think
So,
it had the intended effect.
100%. I'm not really
Just-
sure. I'm not really sure how you feeling about it. And I know that this isn't something that you would be considering. But if you were considering coming off the number 1 pick, what would it take? Now, remember where I'm at, Punt. Remember where I'm at, Pen. I'm the master negotiator. Eliminate the words no, don't, won't, and can't. And the reason why is because they eliminate options. When you eliminate options, you raise blood pressure. You don't want to do that, right? So I'm going to tell you what I can do, all right? This is what I can give you. I'm not saying I can't give you Wemby. I'm telling you that I can give you the number 2 pick, and I can give you the number 4 pick.
You did tell me you can't give me the French kid. You did tell me that though.
Okay, so let's take that off the table. I'm not saying that I can't do it. What I am saying, I'm just telling you what's available. That's what I'm saying.
Here's what I want. I want 2. I want 4. You have 2 and 4, right?
I do have 2 and 4 available.
I want Stephon Castle. And I want
All right, man. Chill,
I
hang up the phone.
Wait, Ron, we talking.
He started by saying he wanted Wemby. You should have hung up the phone then.
Wait a minute, Ron.
This how negotiations work.
You gotta
think they
start
come in
high.
like, oh yeah, let me get Bill.
You got to
Radley on
start
board.
high,
No.
Ron. You got to start high because
It's
I asked
no
for
way
Wemby.
that they give
Right,
up those 2 picks for Cooper Flagg and Stephon Castle. That's the rookie of the year and two top 5 picks. That's not even feasible. It's not logical. They don't do it.
First of
But
all,
chill,
I'm
but
the
chill.
one-
When you do
I'm
this
the
though,
one taking
when you
on a
do this
health
though, chill,
liability here.
you gotta have
perfectly healthy.
You gotta have the
player.
whole script though. Chill. You gotta have somebody in the background like, oh, chill, hold on 1 second. Danny's calling back. Hold on, Pin. Let me get right back at you. Hang up on you.
Here's the thing, Pin, because I know you. I know you like
to get Laurie Marketing. I'm shaking in my boots.
I know you like Castle, right? I know you like Castle, but this is one of the you and I have had conversations in the past when we've talked about the draft. This is one of the best drafts that's available. So you getting 2 guys.
Yeah, but why is it the best draft available? Because of Cooper Flagg.
Right.
If I take Cooper Flagg off the table, it's not one of the best drafts.
But it's still
you're asking me to give you the number 1 pick. Hang on. Let me sell you on something. You're in San Antonio. This is Cooper Flagg. Your ticket sales will be you have the hottest ticket in the world right now. And you're one of the smallest markets, making you the hottest ticket in the world with Wemby plus Cooper Flagg. Not only do you have the best young international star, you would now have the best young American star under the age of 20. And you get to pair 2 of the best defenders, and you want me to do you that favor?
No, what I'm doing is
what have I done to suggest to you that I'm this stupid?
Okay, well, first of all, this is not a one-way street.
Stephon might gotta go.
This is not a one-way street. This is a 2-way street. I am giving you 2 top 5 players in one of the best drafts. Not one of them. You're getting 2 of them.
Yeah, but
you
keep saying one of the best drafts, but it's one of the best drafts because of Cooper. It's not one of the best drafts because of Yegor Demon.
But here's the difference, though. With Cooper, I'm going to get Cooper. You're still getting premium talent. You're still going to get Ace Bailey. You're still going to get Dylan Harper.
Sure.
You're still going to get somebody.
How many players play on the basketball court at once?
Only 5. Sure. I get that part.
So when you trade the best asset, you got to be compensated at least 150% on that one.
Well,
you're going to massively overpay for Cooper.
Well, that's why I'm giving you. I'm giving you 2 lottery. I'm giving you 2 first-round picks. I'm giving you 2 lottery picks.
You keep saying that's what I'm lottery. You're asking. Hey, you called me,
and I am calling you. So
you called me, and you're asking me to give you Cooper Flagg.
I am.
Well,
first of all, okay.
First of all, asking you to give him the number 1 pick.
That's what I was. I'm asking. I didn't say that I was taking Cooper Flagg. I just asked for the number 1 pick. And
if we can sign a deal that you're not going to take Cooper Flagg, yo, you got a deal.
Well,
we don't need to.
Hey, real quick, if I trade, like for instance, like say if I had the 2 and the 5 or the 2 and the 4, right, and I traded for the 1, can I then take the 1 and trade the 1 for Giannis? Or how many times can you trade the 1? You know what I'm saying?
You can keep trading
in a lot of years.
Yeah, I'll take that 1 so that I can give Cooper Flagg to somebody else. You know what I mean? Because I might go ahead and grab Giannis right now.
So,
honestly,
what if we offer you 2 and 4, and then we offer you Atlanta's pick for next year, so you have the chance at AJ?
No. No, I don't expect. I don't expect
and
Atlanta.
I want you to hold. I want you to hold that. I want you to hold
No,
that thought.
I
man,
need
because
three
I got
very, very, very good things to move off of a great sure thing. And again, Cooper is not. It's
Cooper's
not about basketball. Cooper is not about basketball. I'm not. I can't. I can tell you, I'm high on him. I'm not as high on him as I was on Wemby, and I'm certainly not as high on him as I am about AJ DeBon. So Ron and I can disagree on that one. But it's the marketing, man. They're just. I'm sorry. Like, we see what's happened with Caitlin Clark. We see the demographics. We see the jersey sales. The vast majority of America is white.
Oh, the white boy marketing.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
Caitlin Clark came in bald.
So
she came in was
Cooper
she was a top,
got a lot of
she was a top 10
fans.
player in the WNBA, potentially a top 5. Like, she came. Not only did she have the aura, not only did she have the name, not only did she have the lure, she came and she put the stats and the numbers behind it. She came and she turned the franchise around.
Have you seen Cooper's numbers at Duke?
Yeah, but it's Cooper. Okay, so now let's take it a step further. Cooper Flagg goes number 1 to the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
Are they a playoff team?
No.
Yes. Because that's what Caitlin Clark.
Cooper plus LaMelo. You must be crazy. Of course they are.
So that what? How many?
So LaMelo goes from a player who's a losing player who plays bad basketball to he's making the playoffs just because of Cooper Flagg.
They got 14 wins so far, man.
They're not going to the playoff next year with Cooper.
It's by design. Everyone says, 14 wins, 13 wins. I don't think
by design.
Yes. How many games has LaMelo played this year?
I don't think they've designed him to get hurt.
No,
which has happened over the last 3 years. That's happened.
Yeah, I don't think that's part of the design. I think he just keeps getting.
No, man. Like, they're like.
You serious right now?
I mean, my man in the chat did say D9 said they do got Brandon Miller. They got Miles. Like, they got pieces over there, but they don't overnight turn into a playoff team. They don't do what the Pistons did with Cooper Flagg.
They could be a play-in team. Like
they don't do what the Pistons did. Is that what you're telling me?
No,
you're telling me Tobias Harris better than Cooper Flagg right now.
It's not about that.
Nobody said
about
that.
Tobias Harris played well this year, to be fair.
They put veteran pieces over there. Cade took a magnificent leap, and all the other young players took a leap as well.
Okay,
like Cooper Flagg doesn't just step in as a
they
rookie.
If they get Cooper, what's stopping them from signing like a couple of competent role players? Like, you don't think they can get a Tobias Harris and a Malik Beasley over there?
So now you want Tobias?
I think getting a Malik Beasley is kind of tough. I don't know what Malik Beasley is just going to be available, but I mean, I guess.
But wait a second. I mean, you acting like you acting like Cooper Flagg is this super generational.
No, I'm not. I'm saying he fixes something that is a major problem. But he's fixing something that's a major problem in Charlotte. And frankly, for most bad teams, don't have good rim protection. They don't have good positional versatility at the wing. He can do that. He plugs a lot of gaps. Like, a lot of young players are going to help you lose. Frankly, I'm just being honest. Like, even super talented ones like Matas Buzelis. That dude is very talented. I don't think he's going to help you win if you play him 35 minutes a game. You're probably going to lose those minutes. I think Cooper helps you win right away just because he's so versatile and he's such a great athlete, and he's so like fits wherever, like, I think he's a great role player and he projects to be a star, but when he's not a star, he could still be a role player. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great athlete in transition.
Cooper got a lot of work to catch, man.
So wait, you saying am I the Cooper Flagg of PC? Because you said I was Dylan Brooks. So
no, Cooper Flagg could at worst be, like, right now, probably walk onto an NBA court and be some version of Aaron Gordon. Like, right away. He does all that.
But Aaron Gordon doesn't go to the Hornets and make them a playoff team.
Aaron Gordon would help a lot.
He would help, but he doesn't just. They don't just jump up to the 7th seed with Aaron Gordon.
No, I think you gotta see, like, okay, like you think of an individual player going to a particular team and you're like, what does that individual player individually contribute? But it's like, what does that individual player do to everybody else? And that's where I think the benefit of connective players like Draymond Green and Aaron Gordon and Cooper Flagg can never completely be understood, because they can totally change the DNA of your team defensively and offensively. Like, you might look at Draymond Green and be like, Draymond Green could at most help a team win 3 more games, but it's like Draymond Green changes your practices. He changes your DNA as a team, changes your defensive communication.
And Cooper Flagg does that.
Absolutely. I don't say on the level of Draymond Green.
He's the presence of a Draymond Green at practice, in the locker room.
For his age, he is 100% that player. Like Kevin Garnett, like that level of competitor, freak, athlete, total. Like, yo, it changes. Like, look, I watched Davion Mitchell, several times, both with Sacramento and with Toronto here, and you see, like, I've attended a few Raptors practices and stuff. You see how much like one player dialing it up that much, being that intense, can sort of change the physicality of your practice. How
Ron,
hard people are setting screens.
Ron, I know we got to get to super chats. I know we got to get to the super chats. But just really quick question, Swiper, what makes you the Cooper Flag of P-State? That's what I want.
Well, he said I was Dylan Brooks. I'm saying he said role player. I'm saying would I be the Coop?
Okay.
PC.
I mean, we can upgrade the Dylan Brooks comp because I've decided in 2025 that I'm going to stop hating on you completely. So I mean,
PJ Tucker.
PJ.
But I know we got to get to super chats. My fault.
You just calling him PJ Tucker for other reasons.
PJ Tucker helped win the championship.
PJ Tucker when he was flaming and when he was locking up. That
shout out.
So
if I'm PJ Tucker, hold on. Let me think about this. What's a really good player that knew their role? Oh,
Sean
I got
Livingston.
it.
He's Sean
No,
Livingston.
he's Norris Cole. That's who he is. I got it. Shout out Norris Cole.
I thought you were going to say Moochie. I thought you were going to say Moochie Norris. My bad.
No, Ron is more Chalmers, but anyway, I know we gotta get the super chats. My fault.
No. Before we even get to the super chats, because Penn, I gotta see how much you gonna stand on your logic. I'm going to go through the bottom 10 teams in the league, and you tell me which one of these teams that Cooper Flagg will make a playoff team instantly if they get the number one pick.
Well, it's not instantly, Ron. You got to add some other stuff around it too. Like I'm saying, it changes the organizational direction. Now you got your guy. You're not tanking anymore. You want to support that guy with a couple of vets. You're going to be competitive. You're going to be a lot more competitive.
But
sure,
do they want to do that though? Like,
okay,
for instance, if he's drafted to, let's say he's drafted to the Jazz, are the Jazz going to go and sign a whole bunch of veteran free agents because they think Cooper Flagg is now good enough to lead them to the playoffs? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so factor that all in then. Whatever you think,
but they're in the West,
would do.
which is a really more complicated situation, I think. But yes, I do think the Jazz, between Lauri Markkanen, I mean, Lauri's come out and he's talked about it. He said that he's taking more difficult shots deliberately this year because they've approached him about doing this. That Will Hardy. Do you see how many times the Jazz have been in a game or been about to win a game and then they just kind of choke it away in the last minute? Almost like it's a miracle every time it happens. Like they're up 6 and it's 2 minutes to go. And you're like, okay, here comes the timeout on the fast break by Will Hardy. Like they're trying to lose these games. I don't think people understand how well teams have constructed their tanks, but these teams are trying to lose. They're trying to bottom out. I think the minute you get a Cooper Flagg or a LeBron James, or frankly, I don't want to compare him to LeBron James or a Wemby or whatever. For the most part, if you have your pieces, if you have your ducks in a row, why you want to keep tanking? I mean, the Jazz might keep tanking for AJ because he's local.
I'm gonna give you these teams, and I want you to let me know if you believe that with Cooper they'll make the playoffs.
Okay.
All right. So we already talked about the Hornets. You said yes to the Hornets.
Yes.
The Portland Trailblazers.
Yes.
Yes.
The Chicago Bulls.
No.
Chicago.
Ain't they a playing team right now?
Flag.
Playing.
Lonzo.
Oh, they're 10 seed right now.
Playing. Yeah. I mean, the East will be very different next year, Ox. But yeah.
So where they can go from the 10 to where?
But I mean, you got to also factor in they just traded away Zach LaVine, and Zach LaVine is a part of the reason that 10 seed right now.
True that. You're right.
Kobe White.
Well, that got Kevin Huerter.
Oh boy.
My bad, Mark.
I just think I think honestly, I think they're too young to be like a really good team. So they would have to add a lot around it. But yes, I mean he helps a lot. I don't know what their situation is.
But no for the Bulls.
Yeah, it's just because I think Vucevic will be probably gone in that scenario, and Vucevic and Zach LaVine added a lot of wins, weirdly enough, this year. So yeah, it's almost like a wash. But yeah, they'll probably be like the 10th or 9th.
All right, the Brooklyn Nets.
No. Weirdly enough, I don't think.
All right, Pin.
Yes.
With the number one pick in the 2025 NBA draft.
100% yes.
The Toronto Raptors select
Cooper Flagg. Yes, 100%. They will be a playoff team. They will be a home court team.
With Brandon Ingram? Yeah. They should be.
B.I., Scotty, RJ, Cooper Flagg. Come on, man.
And Quigley,
Scotty Barnes as a third
Joe,
option
it's
too.
quickly.
Yeah, they'd be cold.
They should be.
Yeah.
Yes, they should be.
100% yes.
So the Raptors there.
100% yes.
Okay. All right. You said yes to the Utah Jazz, right?
I say no to the Utah Jazz upon thinking about it because I feel like they will be strongly incentivized to tank for AJ DeBonsa again. So expect more funky lineups and Cooper playing point guard and lots of losing. No, I could see the Utah Jazz losing. And also the West is really tough.
All right. The last two teams I got for you. The Pelicans.
No, because I think they would probably trade Zion in that case and start rebuilding again. They're a really young team. I don't know what DeJounte's injury is going to look like. I don't know about playoffs. They could be a sneaky playing team, but I don't think
he got Herb around him. He got CJ. He got
Trey
Murphy.
Trey Murphy's awesome.
Your
No,
man Messi. You don't think that's enough?
in the West, no.
No, with how connective you're saying that Cooper is, I think that should be more than enough.
but connective players need shit to connect. I don't know what you're connecting over in the new
Connective players connect to shit.
No,
shit can't connect unless the connective player connects to shit.
There's certain teams that Draymond is going to have a more profound impact on. For instance, the Boston Celtics. Draymond helps the Boston Celtics more than like a lot of players because that's some great pieces to connect. He'll make Jason Tatum more efficient. He'll make all these players more efficient because he could do a lot of what Al Horford does, except the shooting part, a lot better than Al Horford, frankly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain players like that. So if you're putting Cooper on a team that's already like competitive, like he can amplify that a lot. But if you're putting him on the Pelicans, where there's a lot of organizational issues and a lot of, Zion issues and stuff, I don't know about that. I mean, you're basically asking me, like, is he a better player than Brandon Ingram right now? And I'm gonna say no. So no.
All right. And then last but not least, and this is the only one that I'm gonna judge Cooper Flagg on, is the Washington Wizards. Does he make them a playoff team?
No.
Relax, Moss.
Hell to the hell.
Relax,
no.
Moss.
Bilal and Coop and
Bilal.
Alexander Starr.
No.
No. They're too young.
Would that be a top? Would that be a top 5 defense right there, Penn? Shout out.
Top 5 defense.
Top 5.
No.
Top 5.
Ooh boy.
You back.
Hey, Ox, you want to talk about not having to take my off at the end of the game? Cooper, Bilal, and Sarr. How you gonna score? And Jordan Poole.
I mean, y'all make
and Jordan Poole.
I'm not mad at that defense.
I actually love that. I'm not
mad at that defense. They got shit. They got Malcolm over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad defense at all.
I don't know.
All right, y'all. Well, we do, in fact, have super chats. You guys have spoken, so let's go ahead and get around to them. My man MP13 came with a super chat. He said, has anyone calculated the minimum amount of money you'll need to spend next season to watch all the games? Cable for local games, then you'll need League Pass, Amazon Prime, and Peacock if you want to watch the rest of the games. Or you can download the Playback app and just get NBA League Pass and you can watch everything.
You could do that. That sounds like that's more logical to me. I like that.
That's your smoothest promo ever. That was your smoothest transition to a promo ever.
Nice job, Ron. Nice job, yo.
Appreciate y'all. And this is where you can find us at tomorrow night on Playback on the main stage. We will be watching the Rockets take on the Timberwolves. Jalen Green versus Ant. It should be a good matchup. I'm excited to see Şengün versus Julius Randle. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a hell of a game. So y'all pull up and tune in with us, tap in with us. It's going to be a good time. Şengün versus Gobert.
There you go.
How long is he out for?
He had a groin injury, so it's been a little bit.
I don't know.
All right, well, whoever plays, but it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to see. Drink More Water said 7 years of ESPN feeding the public, Giannis would leave Milwaukee propaganda. In less than a day, Giannis himself saying he won't leave. Sham says he would leave if they don't win. Why don't other stars get this treatment?
LeBron got that treatment for years. And he got that treatment because he
did leave.
KD got that treatment for years.
Yeah, and
100%.
Giannis is like blowing
Every
that
star in a
twice,
small
like,
market
I don't
gets
know.
that
Yes, they
treatment.
all do. 100% they do. And I didn't hear for 7 years that Giannis was getting that. So from 2018 up until today, Giannis was leaving Milwaukee. I didn't hear that in 2018.
In
I heard that
2029,
No,
in 2028 and 2029, we're gonna start hearing the same thing about Victor Wembanyama. So, like, oh, Vic wants out of San Antonio. You know, they're not winning unless of course they're just running off championships. But you know,
Right.
like, if they're making deep playoff runs and not getting it done
I
by
don't
then,
remember hearing that.
by 28, 29, if they don't got a championship, it's gonna be the same thing with Vic.
I think even though San Antonio is not a huge market or like a really big city, I think they traditionally have not had the hardest time keeping stars. Or I know they're not a huge free agent destination, but because of their organizational stability, because of the championships and success, I don't think they usually have the same issues. Like usually people aren't like, oh, this dude can't wait to. That's why people were so shocked Kawhi wanted to leave, because people don't usually want to leave the San Antonio Spurs. So I think
when the Spurs for a long time stood on Tim Duncan. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like obviously they had, you know, the other guys come through, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili,
right,
Kawhi Leonard, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like they really had that issue. You know what I mean? I think we got to understand too, the Spurs are changing as well. They're having a new situation. I don't know how much longer Pop's going to be there when he comes back. If he does decide to come back, I don't know what that situation is. You know what I mean? So I think the San Antonio that we're used to might not be the same San Antonio that we're about to get.
Gregory with the super chat. This is what Gregory had to say. Y'all should come to Toronto to check out the Penn Dance Film Festival, February 27th through March 2nd. This panel rocks. Respect to everyone.
Word.
big shout out to Greg, man. That was very, very nice of you to do that.
It's called Penn Dance.
Yes, it is.
Hey, bro, hold on. We all got incentive to go to Toronto now. Every single one of us. So you just let us know when we can come and support, and I'll talk to Dave and then JD and myself, and we can mob, because we would love to see that. I know that's 100%.
Toronto is on the bucket list, to be honest.
Yeah, we met somebody that's lives in Toronto right now. That's we're trying to do some business with. So you just let us know, and then I would love to pop up and see that. First off, Penn, I love basketball. I could do this. I could do a Swipe of Talks movie and film, and I would. That would be even better. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
won't watch. God damn.
Shows, movies. You don't like movies? You don't like film?
Not no film about you talking.
Come on, dog.
I'm changing the channel right now, Ox.
We'll make sure to put you on. We'll make sure to put you on
film.
We'll make sure to put you on stage with a mic.
My tooth's starting to hurt right now.
Hold on, Ox. So you telling me if I broke down Memoirs of a Geisha for you and the historical significance of that movie, you telling me you wouldn't watch that?
Memoirs of what?
Memoirs of a Geisha. It came out.
Memoirs. Focus, Ron.
Memoirs of a.
Oh my God!
It's a
Penn,
movie.
For the record, Penn, Toronto is on the bucket list.
That's awesome. You know, people told us when we
Australia.
started this in 2017. People told us that a winter film festival in Toronto would never work because people won't come. And every single year we have hundreds of people come from other countries, and they love it. It's very different. It's because Toronto has a very American-centric mindset. I've noticed that. Like a lot of our events calendar, Caravana, TIFF, all of it is very summer, fall centric. And so being from the States and coming here, my first thought was, first of all, I love winter. I'm a dude, like you see, I'm out in shorts in -20. Like I don't care. So I love the snow. I love winter. And I was like, yo, why is there nothing to do here in January and February? Like we just never have like festivals. And so we started Penn Dance in 2017. I started on my mom's death anniversary, December 15th, and we've been going 8 years strong now. And it's great. We got a basketball documentary this year. So shout outs to Gabe and shout outs to Minnesota. It's called Basketball State, the Land of 10,000 Hoops. And it's going semi-viral right now on TikTok, the trailer. So, and Gabe's going to be here and a lot of people are going to be here. So definitely, if you're in Toronto, definitely pull up to the Penn Dance Film Festival.
And
then, by the way,
it's February 27th to March 2nd at the Carlton Cinema. So big shout out to Greg for showing love on that one.
And Swiper, to answer your question, no, I would hate to listen to you break down the movie Memories of a Geisha.
For Ken, first off, Ken Watanabe is one of the best actors of his era.
It's
period.
Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah, it's just
I know what it's called.
Not geisha.
Like,
You said memories.
oh, I thought you said memoirs. Memoirs, memories, same thing. Whatever. I don't. Yeah, same thing.
I'm being 100%. I'm absolutely would love to pull through. So we figure out these dates. We do a PC show in Toronto, and I'm with it. As a matter of fact, by the way, y'all, I don't know what y'all keep y'all bags packed because we PC doing a lot of traveling in 2025. So make sure your bag is open, ready to go, ready to rock.
Keep your passport updated, Mars.
Let's set it up for next year. Let's set it up for next year. We'll do PC live on stage or something. We have a huge basketball community here. That's one of the things I realized is like when I was running Penn Dance, I was like, damn, our Pensar basketball community really comes out and supports Penn Dance a lot. Like I saw so many Scotty Barnes jerseys last year at Penn Dance. I was like, damn, this is cool. So yeah, I would love to bring the panel to Penn Dance for like that would be cool. We do a live screening on stage at Tip Bell Lightbox. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be
very different.
Because Penn runs the city, and we know somebody else that runs the city. We won't be standing outside trying to get in some spot, just standing there with our hands in our pockets looking unimportant.
Yeah, you get VIP treatment in Toronto.
Yep.
All right, well, Ox, you be sure to go check out Memories of a
geisha, Ron. A geisha.
There you go.
It's a
great memoirs, Ron. Memoirs. I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie. I just don't want to hear you talking about it.
Well, Ox, you listen. First off, this you know what?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like the movie is dope. I'm with you on that.
By the way,
get Penn off the floor.
Everybody,
we agreeing right now, Swiper.
No, I know, but everybody up here, y'all know Ox is a softy in real life. He loves talking about stuff.
I want to hear you talk because I'm soft.
He's a listener. He's an intense listener in real life.
Yes, I am, but not
this is a show. This is a fraud. What you're seeing right now is not really Ox.
When do I act hard or tough? I am a soft.
Yo, Big Ox, be true to yourself, okay?
But Swiper. Just because I'm soft don't make me want to listen to you talk. I want to watch the movie.
No, I'm saying, but that's what you do at film festivals. You talk through what you just watched.
That's actually the most dope thing for anyone out there who your local film festival. You could actually talk to directors, actors, hear their thoughts about things. You could break down your favorite scene. I mean, we're talking like some famous people sometimes coming through as well, Emmy Award winners, Oscar winners, and you could just shoot shit with them and be like, hey, this scene where this character does this, like what you think about this? And they'd be like, nah, that's not how I interpreted it at all. It's like, damn, I learned something new.
I acted
that's fine. That's dope. I like that.
What you do about nothing.
Let me ask you this, Pen, real quick.
Sure.
Is Swiper gonna be talking?
Yes, 100%.
Because Swiper gonna be that's where I draw the line. I'm fine with the director of the film. I don't want to hear Swiper opinion about something.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Stop lying.
What?
Stop lying.
What if Swiper directs the film? Don't limit.
Well, if that's the case, all right, Swiper, get up, direct the film, Swiper. Direct something. Let's do it. I'll listen.
We got a super chat from Darren Faust. Darren said Tatum has one bad game, and this show spends 20 minutes slandering his name, calling him a system player. ... Tubbs in LA is waddling up and down the court, getting targeted by LaMelo Ball and friends.
Facts.
I'm so weird. I haven't even thought about Jason Tatum.
Talking about Luka for like 35 minutes.
Nobody cares. Tatum is not relevant to this conversation in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Shout out to another great player. If I wanted to bring up something random, I would have brought up another random player. There's no point. Tatum is his own man, own player. He's great in his own way. Leave it be.
DSG Piccolo said, I know Adam Bin Laden is going to try to stop the operation, but let my Blazers get flagged and we in the playoffs. Giving niggas 48 minutes of hell. Straight pressure. Top 5 defense in the league.
I think it's interesting that he's talking.
Is a good.
That would be cool.
I do not like the history of injuries and big men and
especially
Portland.
Number one
it's
pick.
just I'm gonna be superstitious about this and just say hell no.
Wait. Coop ain't no big for real. He's a 4, so he'll be all right.
I mean,
That's
okay.
Yeah, number 1 pick
3, 4,
go
5.
to Portland is a bad omen.
It is a very bad omen.
We don't have any history
High
of it
lottery
going
picks
on.
in general going to Portland. is a
Well,
bad
first off,
one.
Sam Bowie was, he just had some.
Greg Oden, Sam Bowie, okay, top
That's
6
it.
pick Brandon Roy. That's a
Bill
lot
Walton.
of.
Even Bill Walton.
I mean, these are like we're not talking like 1 or 2 injuries. We're talking about these players are in the dictionary next to injuries. Like they are some of the most famous examples of careers derailed by injury.
What about the people that went to Portland that didn't get hurt? What about Clyde Drexler? What
we
about
don't care about
Damian
them.
Lillard?
We don't
You
care
know
about
what I'm
them. That doesn't suit the
Marcus
agenda.
Aldridge.
So, all right, got you. All right, until we're gonna talk about the ones that got.
Oh, Bill
DSG.
Walton. Holy Bill Walton. That's another one. That's 4. That's 4 in 50 years. That means it happens to everyone.
DSG. Personally, I wouldn't take this. That's just
So y'all not being very positive today. You got to be a little more positive.
It's Hack Ira said, not likely, but there's a reality where Luka doesn't get his conditioning in order, or he leaves the Lakers, or the trade mentally breaks him for a bit. Nico might not be a fool.
I wonder how those hate watchers are going in the Dallas front office. Like they're just watching every Lakers game, just praying on Luka's downfall. I wonder how eventful those.
Don't think that that's not going on, Mars. That's
Yo.
100% going on.
I'm certain that's what's
The
happening.
headline of the Dallas Herald should be Luka Doncic posts negative 9.1 box plus minus.
Like
crazy.
every
Worst
game
player in
I-
NBA history.
When you
He's a
Ox,
bum.
when you break up with the ex, you do want to see her demise.
I don't.
Oh,
Especially,
oh,
I don't.
oh, dude,
Spec-
that's
especially-
crazy.
especially if she broke up with you.
Nah. No.
If she
Well,
broke
it depends. What she break up with me for? What I do?
Loser mentality.
We
Joe.
talking
I'm gonna say
about a
That's
breakup?
loser
What I missed?
mentality.
Chill. I want to be able to break up with her and bump into her sometime.
and be doing all right. And
Y'all some heartbroken fella. Why every
You know what I'm
episode
saying?
you
Like
gotta break up
I want
with
that.
her?
I want that to be. I want it to be a possibility that if I see
don't-
her in public with my new girl, it's not going to be no crazy. Oh,
The-
you know, I want it to be cool
the
always.
Dallas
and
Mavericks
forever.
do not. The Dallas Mavericks
if
do
we-
not.
and
Ox
if-
does
and
not
if-
want
and if
windows
we-
through his ride.
Right,
Because-
and if we
sorry,
if we
bricks
run
through
into
his
each
ride.
other sometime, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can rekindle an old flame. You know,
Oh, okay. We're keeping the doors open. That's nice.
I like to double back.
I just
man.
personally,
like
I don't
to double back.
believe in zero sum thinking. So it's like I don't see how someone else doing worse is going to make me do better. So that's why I'm not praying on anyone.
I agree with that.
Because you're a positive person, Ron. There you go.
Jelani Scatlife said, Ron, that nitpicking you did on KD yesterday was nasty. Saying someone who was top 5 in points per game for college, Olympics, regular season, playoffs, all-star, and finals. That was disgusting work, my man. Salute.
Yeah, it was. That was very nasty agenda push and made no sense, by the way. Oh, why didn't he take more shots? So he should have been more selfish. That's crazy. Should be more
No.
selfish.
Swipe it. The links that Ron was willing to go yesterday for that conversation made me proud. I ain't
It
gonna
still
lie.
just don't make no
I was
sense
like-
to me. I'm saying,
I said, wait, what'd you say?
Hey,
He
the
never
nigga
had a
been in
70-point
the nigga that played a
game?
million games. You can't touch 60 once? I don't know. That's the GOAT scorer, though. I guess.
Oh, man.
Shout out to KD, man.
That's crazy.
Sound
man. I
like hate
couldn't
to me. I'm not
believe
gonna lie.
Mm.
Sound like pure hate to me.
Yeah,
couldn't
well,
believe
hey,
that.
Russ got a better career high than him. How about that?
Russ
is
ain't
that?
got
That-
a
that
worse
sound like
career.
58. Now, that sounds like love. And he
So
got a
Russ never
57
scored
point game.
60 either?
Nope.
He got 58.
How
So
many
he
shots
didn't, he didn't-
he
so he didn't try hard enough.
We don't
Like
gotta talk
49.
about that. We don't gotta talk about that.
How many shots he take, Ron?
He shot enough. All right. BSG Piccolo said, I'm just confused why Luka was guarding LaMelo in the clutch time. It would be a battle for Tumani tonight. It will be a battle for Tumani tonight. We, 2FC, ready though.
Is he gonna
Need-
play tonight? Oh, my bad.
Need Chauncey to lock in and no more terrorism if they going for it.
Chauncey been good.
Do you want him to win or do you want him to lose, DSG?
I don't know what he wants at this point, but Luka was guarding LaMelo because
That was his matchup.
They switched. That's what happens. And then
That entire conversation about ghost screens and switches,
that
mismatch
kinda-
hunting.
Shout
just
out
went-
to Luka though. Luka was getting fried. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
But then to
sure
be
was.
fair, LaMelo had Jared Vanderbilt, and Jared Vanderbilt got fried too.
Okay,
But,
there aren't-
that doesn't fit.
There aren't 4 players. There aren't 5 players in this league who can guard LaMelo in space. He's very shifty. He's extremely hard to guard. He's averaging what he's averaging for a reason. I mean,
Man, he doesn't settle for bad threes. He's really hard to stay in front of.
No, for real.
Russ took 39 shots in that game, by the way. So
that's not
as
that
much as
bad.
yeah, not as much as I expected. His career high is 44 shots in the regular season.
Keep going, Russ.
Sound like
triple
Russ need to
double
pass
that
the
game.
ball more.
Yeah, the triple double.
How Swipey? He's not a top. He's not a top 15 passer of all time.
Not a top 50 passer ever.
Well, I agree.
Penn in 2025 said he's leaving all that behind, so we'll forget.
We're not why would you don't Penn? Never leave the truth behind. Keep the truth with you, brother.
No, I said I was leaving my hating on Swiper shit behind since I found out that he was a Baylor grad and partially Nigerian
and fully almost Nigerian, actually.
Oh, now
I mean,
33%. Now I got to
cool.
be a damn near Swiper fan. All right, there you go.
Well, I'm the biggest filmologist over here too, so I feel like that should be a big thing.
That's a
don't let him.
The resume is just stacking up here.
He
No,
gonna
I knew about the film stuff with you anyway.
I'm also, I'll also be out there working them streets, man. I'll be working the phone for Ron. Cause Ron will be doing his job.
He's a
Oh,
scammer.
hello,
That's
I'm
what he's saying.
I'm
That's what he's
Swiper.
saying.
Welcome. You know, this is PC. This is what we do. And
I don't
Ron's
know
over
why
here
when you
just
said
like,
working the streets, I imagined you wearing like a pimp jacket and being like a pimp.
No.
Oh, I imagine him
You're
being
not a
prostitute.
pimp. Oh shit.
That's what I imagine.
Oh. Okay.
I got a members chat from
You went the other way on that
Mavs
one.
Max AD Kyrie. I see you slid Max Christie in there. And this is what Mavs Max AD Kyrie had to say. He said, RP, Rich Paul said Bron and him were not happy with the trade.
Okay.
Okay. We got a new member. He goes by the name of J Gaming Clips channel. Y'all go check out J Gaming's clips on his channel. Shout out to J Gaming. Another member chat from Tank Jones. Tank said Luka fat ass forgot it wasn't the finals last.
No, it was just part of the plan, just get blown by and funnel them to.
oh man, Mars defending that last year was disgusting. I'm never gonna forget that. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie
how
to you.
dare I understand what the Mavs defense's structure was?
No, that's not what that was at all.
Funnel him to Ruchi
Me and Oxford just we were right. We've been verified.
You could not like the defensive plan.
No, I knew what it was.
And you can acknowledge that the defensive plan is.
I can
because of
acknowledge it,
how
and I
bad
can
Luka
still
is as
say
a
he was
defender.
trash
That
defender
doesn't
too.
change
I said
anything
both.
I
I said both were true. To be clear, I said
Yeah,
both
that
were true.
doesn't change anything I said. I
It
never
changes a lot
defended
that what you said.
Luka's
You're
bad
wrong.
defense.
You're
I
wrong.
said
You're wrong.
They've built a scheme around his bad defense. That's all I said. I was objectively right.
Man, that's crazy. Ox they built a scheme around me not doing my job. Go ahead, bro.
K Bird 80 became a YouTube member. Shout out to K Bird. Big fan Breezy sent through a members chat and said, second half of the season, OKC's the next team. Second half of the season, OKC's the next team to get their first championship. Second half of the decade, the Brooklyn Nets get an NBA championship. Hashtag the rise and fall.
That'll be interesting. I want
Cam Thomas game winner in Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Trendon Watford said Cam Thomas the best scorer he's played with. So shout out to Cam Thomas. But
how old is he? Who has he played with?
Dame's the notable one.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't in the Blazers. That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I can see how the Thunder lose. I just don't think they're going to. But we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
Classic said, coaches have this fetish for letting Luka get cooked on defense. JJ waited till late to blitz the LaMelo screens instead of leaving him on an island.
Teams don't want to put two on the ball. It's not a hard concept. They don't want to have to put two on the ball unless they have to. Issue is with Luka.
They got Luka out there, Mars.
Yeah,
they
issue is with Luka, you
to.
have to because he can't guard anything. So that's the concern. But that's why teams leave it till late. They don't want to put two on the ball. No coach wants to be put in a disadvantaged situation. Issue is you got Luka on defense for your team. You're probably starting off as a disadvantage. So
shout out to Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat became a YouTube member, and you should do the same thing. Also, want to give a good shout out to our Hall of Famers. They hold it down on the back end, and they do things that you regular chat members just can't do, honestly. Shout out Cheese, shout out Vale, shout out J-Hub, shout out Multi-Kenny, and shout out Cobra Son of Raditz. And we have another super chat from MP13. MP said, it's crazy that you need motivational speeches and other people to tell a grown man to get in shape for his job that pays him generational wealth.
I mean, he gets paid generational wealth whether he's in shape or not. So
again, it comes back to
you watch Spit Team.
It again comes back to relativity. It's like everyone looks at this and says, how could you be paid $40 million and not do your job well, right? But there's probably somebody out there making $3 an hour somewhere in the world looking at you making $40 an hour, you know, and you're messing up at your job and you're like, damn, I wouldn't do that either. Everyone's always looking at it that way.
Yeah, so everybody's looking at everybody that's messing up on their job saying you shouldn't be messing up on your job.
No, but what I'm saying is like everyone looks at someone who's in a different bracket and say, well, if I was in that bracket, I would act differently. But most people don't act differently. You know what I mean? Like
Right. But regardless of how much you're getting paid.
If I give a super lazy person, if I give a person who's lazy, who doesn't dial in at Walmart, if I give them $1 million, pay raise, it's not like long term. Most likely, they're not going to show up and be super competent suddenly. You know what I mean? Like people,
right. But regardless of what your job is, you know what I'm saying, you should.
I just feel like
you should, but
money.
Reality is people think they're better than what they are. That's the reality. People think that they're somehow the best person ever.
That's why. That's why
if they were in a situation that someone else is in, they would just do it flawlessly. And the reality is, you're probably just as flawed, if not more.
That's why it takes somebody to stand on their nuts.
It's called
like Nico. It takes people like Nico to stand on their nuts and say, "Get up out of here."
There's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which effectively says that the further you go into a particular vocation or profession, the more realistically you view your aptitude in that. So yeah, like when you're starting out, like, I could do a better job than Rob Pelinka. I could do a better job than JJ Redick. I could do a better job than a head coach. But the more you do it, the more you realize, here's all the million reasons why these people struggle. So yes, ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Mr. Goat became a YouTube member.
Mr. Bill Russell, nice to meet you.
And then Mr. Goat or Mr. Bill Russell sent through a super chat saying, pre-SGA glaze, SGA is outplaying 93 MJ, which someday is peak MJ. SGA is the best player in the world, MVP and future champ this June. Learn ball.
Do we got to talk about this one?
I agree. There we go. We can keep pushing. I agree.
Or y'all can learn ball.
SGA is better than peak MJ. I don't know what to tell you. It's just reality. But people not ready for that conversation.
Shout out to 93 MJ running around the league.
Wasn't Jordan 33 a game that year?
Okay, good for him.
He won SGA.
I think he finished. I think he finished third that year in Defensive Player of the Year, something like that.
SGA is that the sixth favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year? No,
I seen at All-Star Weekend, y'all were asking some random people questions for their wildest takes, and I think someone was talking about MJ averaging 35, 12, and 12. Is that what I heard?
Yeah,
one of the clips. Yo, that is extremely wrong. 35 and 12 and 12. MJ would average 40.
The problem pen that we have is like these older dude. That was the older dude who said that. Like, and then they think that we all think like that. Like, you think I think Jordan is averaging 40, 12, and 12? No, I don't think that.
Penn saying instead of 35, he'd average 40, right, Penn?
Yes. I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying 35 is short.
Go back and look at the structure around which Jordan scored. Go look at the players. Go look at the players hanging out in the paint, the second defender, the third defender. You take all those defenders out of the way. This is like a 6'6" Ja Morant level explosive athlete with way better skills and a better passer a way better defender. Like, you're talking about
way better.
Really, it makes me, there is literally nothing in basketball discourse that makes me more mad than people trying to downgrade what Jordan would do to these dudes today. First of all, he's like 100 times tougher than any player in the league.
42, 6, and 5.
I think he'd be doing. I think he'd be doing what he was doing back then. I think he'd be like. I think he'd be between 29 and 32 a game. That's what I think he'd be at.
DeRozan averages 22.
He was between 29 and 32 back then.
Yes, I think he'd be doing the same thing he'd be doing today. I just think he'd be doing it different.
Will he be the best player in the world, Joe?
I expect the Jordan standard to come from the old head.
No doubt about that.
I don't
agree too.
He'd be top 15 for sure.
No, my God, Jordan averaged 40 in his sleep. 40 in his sleep. I take that take to the grave.
Maybe 40.
It can't be proven. So yeah, I guess you could.
Russ gave us a 30-point triple double.
Fire up 2K, man. Fire up 2K.
Jordan could give us a 40-point triple double. I like it.
42, 7, and 5.
If you port 89, if you could just port 89 Jordan into today's league, this league, like, that dude would destroy this league. He would destroy it.
Is Zach LaVine without a 3-point shot?
No, it's not. Okay,
Zach LaVine averaged like 20.
Pin, don't let him troll you, Pin. Just get your point off.
23 a game, 22.
People,
Don't let
Ron,
him troll,
why,
bro.
Ron?
People in
You
the
are
league today
right
are
now,
not
Ron. You're supposed to be
designed.
Rocky Balboa, and you're allowing this. That's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be Rocky Balboa. And you're supposed to stop this fight. And you're allowing this.
Mars is getting schooled by Ben.
Mars just compared Zach LaVine to 89 Jordan. Ron, stop this. Can we move on, please?
Yeah, but except Zach.
Yes.
There we
thank
go.
you.
I got you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Is that better, chat? Is that better,
Thank you.
chill?
Okay,
All right.
Except Zach LaVine is a way better 3-point shooter.
Go ahead, Ron, as you were saying.
Way better.
Shout out to Zach and Amar. DSG Piccolo said, I'd prefer them niggas lose. But if they going for the play-in, then full send that shit. They picked the direction, so I'm gonna enjoy the ride. JG, Aiden, and Chauncey still gotta go, Ron. We'll see about Ant. Oh,
Simons.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Simons.
Man, y'all don't need to come off the Chauncey. I'm trying to tell y'all.
All right, I got a new members chat from Kareem NYK 2001. He simply said Mars is a bunch of emojis.
Clown, yeah.
We got another super chat from Itzhak Ira. Itzhak said, Kyrie disrespect in 2025 is so nasty. Mavs perimeter defense will suffocate LA. Keep sleeping on Dallas. 5-1 since the trade for a reason.
Latest white.
The reason is Max Christie.
Yeah, bro.
Shout out to Max Christie, man.
Shout out to Nico. Good job,
Nico Harrison a genius, but people not gonna give him his flowers until the Mavs win 6 championships.
EJ with the super chat said, which NBA All-Star team would you consider the best of all time? I think it's the 01 Western Conference All-Star team. Your thoughts, PC?
So the 1990 All-Star team, that was Jordan, Isaiah, Ewing, Bird, and Barkley. In 2000, that West team with Garnett, Duncan, Jason Kidd, Shaq, and Bryant. Those are the two that I'm thinking about off the top of my head.
It is one All-Star roster. I had seen it yesterday. It was LeBron's team last year. It was LeBron, Luka, KD, Shea, and Jokic. That's just a starting lineup. And then you get into the bench. You got Steph Curry, you got AD, you got Kawhi, you got Devin Booker, you got Anthony Edwards, Paul George, and Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, just forget about Paul George. Yeah, that's a really good team.
That team was crazy.
That's the best team ever. There you go. That's the answer.
I think the 2021 LeBron All-Stars should be considered Steph, Doncic, LeBron, Giannis, and Jokic. That was
but that
team.
bench sucked. It had Rudy Gobert on it.
Forget the bench. We're talking about the All-Star game. So this the starters going to play. We're going to go play down the stretch anyways. And I think the 2000
because LeBron barely played that year. He was low managed.
Like 2000 West Conference. Garnett, Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, and who the hell was the fifth guy? Jason Kidd. That's a crazy team. And I don't care how you slice it. That's like 4 of the greatest players, of 25 greatest players of all time on one roster. That's insane.
Yeah, 2000s West definitely had some crazy ass rosters for sure.
They were all right, yeah.
MP13 said, you guys are being a bit unfair to Chill. This is the most complicated question, even for NBA coaches. There's no simple answer to this.
Sure, there's
which is why I disagree with Chill acting like it was simple. Because apparently I was overcomplicating it by saying that defense is difficult.
It is actually very simple.
In theory.
No.
In practice, it's not.
Let's not relitigate
It's easy to say, you just do this, and then you like every decision presents its own problems.
No, solving it is not easy. Defining it is easy, is what I'm saying. Like defining the problem of space in basketball is easy.
Yeah.
Solving that problem is hard.
Yeah, but Chill was saying that.
But we were trying to examine what the problem was. We were trying to figure out where the problem was coming from and how the problem was coming. I don't think we provided a solution to anything.
Yeah, because if we could, we'd have jobs.
We 100. Well, we got jobs. We'd be.
If we were able to figure out how to slow down these offenses, we would be
on somebody's
NBA coaching staff. That's what.
Yes.
All
We be
right.
on some other
Well,
bitch.
I would just chill at home and then be like, I solved it from my TV. I'm not working for the NBA.
Mar shows up in the
All that
coaches meetings
traveling,
virtually.
Oh my God. Make me travel from Florida all the way up to Portland. Oh no, we good. I'm not doing all that.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be traveling from London all the way to Toronto, I guess. That's where the next PC weekend
Dentist
is.
appointment.
Got it. Okay. Don't want to hear Swiper speak. You and that Ox guy. EJ with the super chat said, chill. That wasn't 2000. That was 2001. Shaq was hurt that year.
Yes, it was 2000 because it was in Oakland. I was there. Yes, it was. Shaq, it was Duncan, it was Garnett, it was Jason Kidd, and Kobe Bryant. Yes, it was 2000.
I also don't think Shaq was hurt. So.
And he wasn't. He was playing in 2000.
Yeah, I don't think Shaq was hurt.
He didn't play in 2001. That was in Washington.
I'm pretty sure Shaq won the All-Star Game MVP that year.
He did win the All-Star Game MVP.
Shout out to Oakland. We was just there.
Yeah.
It was made the All-Star Game. Both
all offended for you, Cho.
I was there.
Isaiah Davis said, what's your top 5 second options? My man swears Bron was the man on the Miami. Was the man in the Miami. The Miami streets know D Wade was Batman. LeBron was Superman at.
I think he was going to say best.
Wade took a backseat to James. He did. And he said that. He took
in
a
the
back.
second year.
Yeah, in the second year.
LeBron was the best player on the Heat. I don't know.
Yes, he was. I mean, let's stop acting like that, like that's a conversation. It's not. James was the best player on that crew. That's not to diminish who Dwayne Wade was, because Dwayne Wade was
the best player on the planet.
He was.
So
he was
obviously,
the best
if you
player.
share a court with the best player on the planet, you're not going to be better than him because you're also on the same planet.
Right.
Like, it is what it is. LeBron was the best player in the world, which would then by default mean he was the best player on his team.
He can't be the best player on the planet and not be the best player on his own team.
Yeah,
that can't happen.
So it's pretty obvious.
In 09, 010, what was the gap between LeBron and D Wade?
Substantial, but that wasn't even the year they were on the same team. It's 2011 they were on the same team, but in 2010,
No, that's why I'm asking.
To answer your
asking
question,
significant. It
that-
was significant. In
No,
2010, LeBron was significantly better.
The reason I asked about 2009 is because that is a little bit closer to Dwayne Wade's peak.
Yes,
The gap wasn't significant in 2009.
yeah, but he said 2009, 2010, so the next season. Yeah,
I kind of meant it as in like those 2 years, that group of years, because I think people are a little bit slow to adjust to regression. So you know what I mean?
agree.
Like
Yeah, I agree.
so when a player is starting to fall off, they're not quite tuned into like, oh, this is not the same D Wade. This is not the same Tracy McGrady. This is not the same Tim Duncan. And so Tim Duncan continued to have like that appeal of he's a top 3 player, even when he was the 11th best player in the NBA. People still saw him like that. So I think that's why the narrative is that D Wade was the best player, because 2 years prior to them linking up, D Wade was neck and neck. And the first year they played together, I think there were a lot of big moments that he outplayed him.
yes, LeBron was still better, but yes, I agree.
I agree.
Shout out to the real Batman. EJ said, which NBA All-Star team would you
We did this one
consider?
already. We did this one
Thank
already.
you for sending that through, EJ.
Mhm.
Mr. Goat said, if the Kings and the Raptors merged, they still are playing team, 2 sorry ass franchises. Go SGA.
Nice, good work, good work.
I mean, he
no,
really
they wouldn't
not.
be.
He really kind of.
Stop, bro.
Are you
Stop.
insane?
Stop.
So
Go
you
ahead,
ask, you
go ahead,
ask Scotty
SGA.
Barnes to the Kings right now. Where are they at?
They would be a top 4 team in the West with Scotty Barnes. Do you realize how much Scotty Barnes helps your defense if you're the Kings? They literally are a Scotty Barnes away. They were trying to trade for OG. They were trying to trade for Pascal. Why?
They have Keegan Murray. I don't think they need Scotty Barnes. Exactly.
Oh, Lord. Okay, cool. Mister, he's not a top
Go
25
back, go
player.
back.
Okay. We're not trying to relitigate what y'all did on PC Weekend with your live show, whatever. Yes, Scotty Barnes plus RJ Barrett off the bench plus Emmanuel.
All right,
Quigley.
chill.
Come on, man. He's
Come on,
short.
fellas.
Plus
Don't forget
Brandon Ingram.
Don't forget Brandon Ingram.
You don't think Brandon Ingram,
I forgot
Scotty
about Brandon
Barnes,
Ingram.
and
Hey, I
Jakob?
forgot all about
Wait.
Brandon
What about Jakob Pertl? You don't think
Y'all
Jakob?
can put it don't get no playing time.
Are you?
Nice.
Y'all
Jakob
don't
Pertl
even
is
play.
so
Y'all don't even-
much better than Jonas Valanciunas. You have
No, he's
no
not.
idea.
No,
Yes,
he's
he
not.
is. He is
On top-
way
I
better.
on
always
top
find
of
it
that,
interesting
I got
when
RJ
emphasize
Barrett
that
too.
defense is
RJ
important.
Barrett
Like,
too.
I don't know why Valanciunas just gets the flyby of, oh, he can be terrible on defense. It's cool. It's very weird, and I don't know. understands when you care about defense and when you don't. Because Valanciunas
I always care about defense.
Valanciunas is
Always care about
horrible.
defense.
So then how I don't get how you can
Because I don't think
and he's one of the worst
Valanciunas
defensive
is
bigs in the league.
I don't think Valanciunas is as bad a defender as y'all say he is.
Yeah, then I don't know what you're saying. But
I don't know what you're
so
saying.
we don't have time for this whole conversation.
Yeah,
But
we
one
really
day I
don't.
would like to just understand what you're looking at with certain people on defense. And what
We'll
you're
talk about it.
He would be the starting center without question.
He'll be the starting center.
Yes. He would
Take a
start.
nap, Penn.
So Penn, what would be the starting five? Right quick
Penn
before we
wanted to go
go
say something
anywhere.
else. That's
And
crazy.
Penn, we do got to move on, so we don't got time to just sit on this. But right quick, what would be your starting
I
five?
think he forgot DeMontis.
I think starting 5 probably would be DeMar at the 1, Zach at the 2, Scotty. Yeah, that's a good
Scotty just
point.
play the
Shoot.
one?
Okay, Scotty at the 1, DeMar going to the bench, I guess. I don't know. Brandon Ingram at the 2. You're starting to. I mean, so it's a weird team. Keegan, Domas, and
Keegan
yeah,
starts.
Keegan probably coming out the
Jakob
bench.
not starting. It's that simple. Jakob Pertl's not starting. That's really what it is.
You
don't
don't
need
have
to get
you
him
don't
in the
have
starting
rim
lineup, he's not starting.
protection. You don't have any rim
They
protection.
don't
with
have it
Domas.
right now. That doesn't mean they're gonna start Jakob Pertl
Why wouldn't you start Jakob Pertl?
because we're gonna start Zach LaVine, Scotty Barnes, DeMontis Sabonis. That's already 4 people, and then we're gonna probably get a floor spacer out there. Not Jakob Pertl. Brandon Ingram probably starts. So yeah,
Brandon Ingram definitely starts.
yeah. So you're gonna have Scotty Barnes, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Zach LaVine,
DeMar
Brandon
going to the
Ingram,
bench.
DeMontis Sabonis,
And Jakob
and-
Pertl.
Who am I forgetting? Who's the other good player?
Jakob
DeMar
Pertl.
DeRozan. There you go. Oh,
DeMar DeRozan.
Jakob
Or
Pertl's not
quickly-
starting. They're not playing DeMontis at 4.
Or RJ Barrett, but Poodle's not starting, bro.
Yeah, DeMontis isn't playing the 4 in 2025. He's just not.
All right,
Great.
y'all. Context
Oh, Malik.
context
Oh,
clue
my God.
said
Yeah.
off topic. Bobby Porter suspended 25 games for anti-drug policy. Also, how does that affect the Bucks?
Mars, take us away.
He'll be back for the playoffs, so it doesn't affect them at all. They're gonna make the playoffs. He'll be back, and they'll lose. Like
Well needed load management for the 6th man of the year. We'll be all right. Gregory Kirkland said, I already see Luka starting to get the blame. Here we go again.
He deserves it.
that's like it's just unjustified. Luka's been bad.
He earned it.
This isn't one of those situations where it's like, oh, we'll blame anyone but LeBron, which is what he's trying to allude to. No, Luka has objectively not been good.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
Like that's not. It's not. Oh my god.
But
they're
he
just
will be
blaming
fine.
someone. No, Luka's been bad.
But
He might
do
be fine.
Do you
Who
not
knows?
feel like Luka
He's
just does?
heartbroken.
Luka just does. Oh man, I don't think Luka gives a shit. I really, I'm be honest. I don't think he cares what people think about him. I think it's just something I noticed with him
that's
as a
obvious.
young kid. It's like when he was 16, 17, like those crowds that would shake an average 16, 17-year-olds, they didn't get to him. Going to the playoffs, you expect young players to struggle. He didn't struggle. Being young, being a rookie, he didn't struggle. So this is just a player who is able to dial it out. Like he doesn't feel all that pressure and that noise, even when he's hurt. But it's like that can burn you both ways. It's a double-edged sword.
You know, Penn, sometimes it's good to care about what people think about you.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Sometimes it's good to be aware of what's being said about you.
I agree. But that's the thing.
aware
But I agree with you because it's like the
there's
same
nothing
thing that
wrong
can
with
make you great can also be your downfall too.
I mean, being aware of what people say about you and then caring what people say about you is two complete.
Well, sometimes you need
I'm
both.
saying he doesn't care.
Sometimes you really need to
He
care
can
about
be
what people
aware.
think
He
about
doesn't care.
I mean, sometimes what people
I'm
say
sure
about
he
you can just be
hears.
true. It's just being.
I'm sure he hears that people say he's fat. I'm just telling you, he doesn't interpret that. I don't think that he interprets that. I don't want to say I'm in his head. I don't think he hears that the way you or I would interpret that or hear that or feel that.
Sometimes it matters. You know what people say about you. It really does matter.
All right. Newbie Doobie sent through the super chat and said, Ben Simmons plays today. Best point guard in LA.
That was going to be my other take. Ben Simmons is going to have a great year in the Clippers.
Respect James Harden.
Shout out Newbie. Hoops never stops. Said OKC won't go past the 2nd round this season.
Right now, they'd be projected to play the Lakers in
All right,
round
peace,
2.
guys.
Merry
All
Christmas.
right.
And I'm very confident they would beat the Lakers in the series. So
Yeah, they lose. So, yeah, they don't go past round 2. Lou Bang said, I lie to young women too. Ox 2025. Dub show.
When did I say that?
I don't know, but it sounds like something you'd say.
I don't remember you saying that.
I don't think I said that, Morris.
Only thing I remember you saying is you lie to old geezers.
I don't
Mavs
lie,
Max
but-
80 Kyrie said 17, 5 and 4 on 49, 47, 83 versus B 14, 5, and 7 on 35, 21, 57 splits. Who's he talking about? This is Luka versus.
I think that's Max Christie and Luka since they've been traded.
That's fine.
Luka shooting 57 from the free throw. Damn, Luka. Jelani sent through a super chat. Jelani said, I am praying for KD to the Nuggets. 33 points per game for sure.
Nah, because KD doesn't do anything that valuable other than score. So he's gonna make the Nuggets worse because all he's gonna do is provide buckets. Not that good.
Void Century said, I'm afraid what LaMelo and Bridges gonna turn Flag into. Jay Bowman said, Wemby about to be Chris Bosh
with the blood clots. That's what he said.
Mo with the super chat said Harden has a better career high than Russ and KD.
I think Harden's career high is 61, which I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of surprising. You'd think Harden would have got to 70 just with how.
You know what? Now that you said that, Mars, the same logic that applies for KD gotta apply for Harden. I'm not impressed.
Nice.
Mitsu said Cat is killing it. Wolves made a mistake.
Well, they tried to save money and they saved money, so I don't think they regret the trade in that sense.
Well, you get what you pay for.
We got another member, and this member goes by the name of shout out the big S's. Appreciate you for coming through. We got 2 more super chats, and they're both from Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat said, Ox, the Kings will be ass.
The Kings will always be ass. Who said that? Mr. Goat?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Mr. Goat, you will always be ass, but it doesn't stop you from getting up every morning. So we'll be okay. Life goes on.
And then Mr. Goat said, why does Penn think he's smart? Like me and women.
Huh?
Like him and women. All right.
Women, him.
Shout out,
smart.
Shout out, Mr. Goat. Y'all make sure you like the video, subscribe to Player's Choice, download the PrizePicks app, and ultimately pull up tomorrow for episode 500. We're gonna have a hell of a day. It starts at the normal time, but it won't end at the normal time. We will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, what do you usually say, Mars?
Merry Christmas.
There you go.